Fountain City Jewelers, right there across from Litton's. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
WKGN 1340. Go Vols!
You're tuned in to East Tennessee's premier sports radio call-in show. This is The Drive.
And hello, good afternoon, and welcome to another stellar edition of The Drive here on Fan Run Radio. Russell Smith punching the time clock at 3:02 on a beautiful Friday here in East Tennessee. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning in to the show this afternoon as we get set for a huge weekend. The Battle of Baum Walker is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. Logan Quinton coming up in hour number 2 for his weekly visit on the show. And the Cookie Man will be in studio with us tomorrow for voluntary reaction immediately following the conclusion of the game. Turn on your Fan Run app, and we will have post-game analysis for you right here on Fan Run Radio. Looking forward to it. Logan in studio with us tomorrow for voluntary reaction after baseball. Very exciting.
I wonder if Davey's going to be. If Davey's here, we'll have the Four Horsemen.
I forgot about it. Yeah, Davey.
We'll have the entire Four Horsemen of the baseball apocalypse.
I don't know if I'm ready for that much fun.
I'm ready for it. Should we get some beer?
If we lose,
why not?
I don't know. It might not be as much fun. So I was talking with the Cookie Man earlier, and I was explaining to him, like, my feeling that this is just house money for Tennessee. It's not that I expect to lose. It's just that I maybe don't expect to win. I don't know. Is that loser talk?
A little bit, but just twist it. Just adjust it a little bit, Russell. We should go into this weekend loose, man.
Yeah, exactly. I'm hopeful. I think I know we can play with these guys. I know we can beat them.
We can beat anybody in the country.
It's just, you look at the odds. You look at, if you take the orange-colored glasses off, Arkansas should win this series. But the fact that they should win this series, as we've talked about all weekend long, puts a lot of pressure on them to win this series. And pressure in these super regionals, as we have seen through the years, we have been the beneficiary of it. We have been the victim of it back in 2022. Pressure is a factor in these series, and the pressure is undoubtedly on Arkansas this weekend. So anyway, my point in saying all this was, I told Logan, I give us a 25% chance to win this weekend, which is not inconsequential. It's small, but 25% happens all the time. You got 4 coins, you draw the one. Like, that absolutely could happen. It's not a bad chance. And Logan was like, oh, I give us a better chance than that.
I'm about 40.
Well, that's what he said.
That's what I'm thinking.
He said 40%. And, hey, man, I hope, obviously, that you guys are correct. I'm just looking at a place we haven't won a series in 25 years. It's the one program that Vitello has struggled against since he's been here. And to me, that history sort of matters in here. And they have a really good team, man. They have a really good team. I was looking at their cumulative stats this year. They've got 6 guys in their lineup hitting over 300 in SEC play. I mean, they are loaded. They can absolutely mash. So we're going to have great pitching performances. We're going to have to score a bunch of runs, and I think we can do it. But we're going to have to raise our level of, like, even what we've seen last weekend. I don't think it's good enough. I think it has to go to another level this week. So Tony Vitello was very loose about it. I was listening to his press conference from yesterday earlier, and we'll play you some of that coming up here in a little bit. But Tony's trying to do the got a good team. We're good. We're peaking at the right time kind of thing. Really trying to get his guys some confidence, I think. We'll see if it works. We have the 25 volunteers for 25 years. I tried to crunch the numbers on this earlier today and failed miserably. We're averaging out, the four of us, we all sat down and wrote our own top 25. We're going to average these out. I tried to do this earlier today, and it was not good. I was told there would be no math. There was math. It did not go well. The West High education, it kicked in, and it was bad. So I fired myself and have reassigned the duties to Walker Smith, no relation, and
using my formula. He had to go to the private school guys on his career.
Well, we're going to the Webby and recent college grad here.
I think I could have done it.
I think you could have too, Jace. I really do. I know Walker can do it. I know, like he's got that.
Hey,
he's got the cool confidence of a guy that went to Webb, and I trust that more. No offense.
You're talking to a former mathlete over here.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
A former mathlete.
Correct.
know that.
My schools would send me to competitions.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, we might have the wrong man on this now.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
I've
I'm
never
not
seen
kidding.
Jay so confident in anything.
I'm not kidding. How do you think I got into the Fan Run Fantasy Football League? There was a math competition.
There was math involved.
There was
I
involved.
didn't know this.
And I won it running away.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. you find out something new every day. I mean, do you want to? Because I don't get the feeling that Walker wants to do this. I mean, we can.
I'll leave it to him. It's okay.
No, I actually, now that I've started doing it, I am actually like kind of
You're
enjoying
into it?
having
Okay.
access to everyone's lists.
Yeah.
and looking through it. It's
All right, so-
actually pretty entertaining.
How many sports radio hosts does it take to calculate a simple 4-poll average? We'll find out. So we'll have our definitive top 25 volunteers of the last 25 years. That was a lot of fun yesterday. We appreciate all the listener interaction on that. And we'll have I think William Overtime Bill is going to do a graphic for us to put online. So I'm sure everybody will have will mock us there too.
Oh, yeah.
So, as I said, I got a lot of reaction about that the past 24 hours or so online, and somebody asked me this morning on Twitter, I think, if we would do our all Vitello-era baseball team. And I think one of the other shows did this. I think Chase might have done this earlier this week, or maybe it was under review. But I was just kind of doing this in my head real quickly, and there's a couple of hard ones, man. There's a couple of hard ones. You would think 7 years, all the success he had, it would be pretty easy. And there are some easy ones. Undoubtedly, Blake Burke gets the nod over Lipschitz at first base. Shout out to Luke, but Blake Burke is the first baseman on the all Vitello team, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Simo at second base. No, all due respect to Fergie,
Simo's automatic.
Simo's automatic.
Yeah, I mean, he should have been the Golden Spikes winner. Did you look at your notifications last night about all this stuff? Did you happen to see somebody that replied to you with a little bit of politicking?
On Twitter?
Uh-huh.
I see most of it. I don't remember what you're talking about.
Blake Burke's mama,
What?
Natalie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
She replied to you with a paragraph.
Really?
Yeah.
About what?
She's wondering, it was pretty funny. It's kind of lighthearted, but she's wondering why her baby boy isn't getting consideration for top 25 and 25.
Well, he did. He did get consideration. He was on there, and he had to get the boot.
She feels like Natalie Burke's baby boy Blake ought to be on the list.
Okay, well, he's
Not considered.
I mean, I'm sorry. He's very good. He's on the all Vitello team. He's not on the top 25 of the last 25 years. Sorry, he's not.
Okay.
So here's where. So I think we can agree. Burke at first, Simo at second, Lipscomb at third.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
for
absolutely.
sure.
I mean, Billy Barrels was good.
Yeah,
Trey
that'd
Lipscomb
be
Trey
my
Lipscomb's in the
runner-up.
major
should have
leagues
been
doing
player
it.
of the year
Yeah.
that year.
Mm-hmm.
Dreiling in left. Any. I think
I
that's
don't have
pretty
an
much
objection.
automatic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
Dreiling.
The two. Well, there are a couple. The hardest one Center field.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think that it has to be Gilbert, but it could be Ensley, but I think it has to be Gilbert.
Really?
I think so, too.
'Cause
I think
I'm
it's
the exact
more-
opposite. I think it has to be Ensley, but probably.
Let me ask you this. Would you trade Hunter Ensley for Drew Gilbert right now? Yes, you absolutely would. Why are you even thinking about this?
I don't. What gets me is what all he did last year to get us that ring.
And he wasn't drafted, or if he was, like it was negligible. He didn't sign. He came back this year for his senior season. Like Drew Gilbert is a
I
pro.
get it.
Drew Gilbert's
I
a
know.
big leaguer.
Yeah.
Gilbert is the face of this program 5
Gilbert's
years
on
later.
my top 25 and 25.
So I think it has to be Gilbert. Beck and Wright,
I mean, is it Beck or is it Kavaris?
I think it's Beck.
Just for his
Yeah,
power.
Beck.
Yeah.
I mean, Kavaris can cover so much ground out there.
And Kavaris hit more homers in a season than Beck did.
Did he really?
He did.
Who's our catcher?
See, here's another one. I think it should be Connor Pavloni. I think there are a lot of people who, similar to the Ensley thing, just overlook the numbers and say it's got to be Cal Stark because he's a blood and guts guy and the intangibles and all that stuff, which I don't dismiss. But
he was so good. I think Stark was probably our best defensive catcher, but his bat was not real good.
well, and I think Pavs gets dinged for his last year was 2021, right?
Yes, yeah, he was part of that team that went to Omaha.
The first team.
Yeah.
So, and that's ancient history for a lot of Tennessee fans who have only been following this for 5 years. But my thing with Stark was Stark, much like Peebles, did not claim that position until the very end of the season. Stark was splitting time with Peebles last year behind the plate. Paz was the man.
Yeah,
he was one of the best hitters, and we'll see. I still think that's a position waiting to have a star. Maybe it's Grindlinger here in a couple of years, but I would give the nod to Pavs.
Starting pitcher?
Well, here's my I want to do a 3-man weekend rotation.
Okay.
Okay. Seems reasonable.
I know two. I know Friday and Sunday right now, I can tell you.
Dolander's on there.
No, my Friday, Sunday would be Doyle.
You're going to say Crochet, aren't you?
No, I'm going to say Doyle, and Sunday is, without a doubt, it was Xander Sechrist.
What?
Of all the guys we've had here?
The way he played at the end of the
I
year.
don't know. I'm
My
like
3 are Doyle, Dolander, and Beam.
I just remember Beam. Was it Beam that used to, like, he'd get lit up a lot of times in the first inning and then shut everybody down for the rest of the
Yeah,
game?
but he did it for 3 years, and he
Yeah.
was just a bulldog and a winner and a grinder. And
Yeah.
I love me some Drew Beam. I shouldn't laugh and dismiss Sechrist out of hand, but again, it's like he got hot
the last half.
for 6 weeks,
Yeah.
basically,
He was in Fuego.
and he got on a run.
And he was just a space cadet to boot, and that just made it
He's
more
fun.
endearing to me. He's fun.
He was fun, but to me,
Okay.
the 3 best for me are Doyle, Dolander, and Beam.
I don't know. He was nails at the end of last year. We don't win the World Series without him. All right, middle reliever.
Well, I was trying to just do 3 relievers. Kirby for 1. Here's where it gets controversial. I'll put Chase Burns on there.
Yeah.
I would
did.
too. I was
He-
border.
I
I was
did.
borderline for at least for like the starting rotation. The first thing that popped in my mind was that
He was a
2022
dog out of the
3,
bullpen
like
that year.
just Burns,
who
Dolander,
was,
Beam. That's what I was thinking for the rotation.
Who was the kid? I love him. I cannot remember his name for the life of me right now. He blew up He blew up at the SEC tournament against Florida. Just made them
Sewell?
like him.
Camden Sewell.
It's Camden
Sewell.
Sewell. Yeah, he might be. Yeah. Okay, that might be my first we might be missing here something that an alert listener will bring to mind, but
Where do
Ben
we
Joyce.
put the Farragut fireman?
yeah.
I mean, he come in there and smoke
Joyce.
chunks.
All right, we'll circle back to this here. We got to take a time out, holler at our boy Christopher Gabriel from KMJ Fresno. He's got thoughts. He's got feelings. He wants to share this afternoon. He will share when we continue. You're listening to The Drive on Fan Run Radio. We're back with more right after this.
The Drive. Big Orange Country's home for sports. This is Fan Run Radio. Hall of Fame Wine and Spirits is Knoxville's new one-stop shop for legendary deals on all your favorite adult beverages. Conveniently located on Hall of Fame Drive, less than a mile from the Smokies' new downtown ballpark, Hall of Fame Wine and Spirits has everything you need for your next gathering with friends or a relaxing weekend at home. So stop by and show some love to this new local business and tell them Fan Run Radio sent you. Hall of Fame Wine and Spirits, 742 Hall of Fame Drive, online at hofknox.com.
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today. Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Make sure you use the promo code FANRUN to take advantage of their welcome bonus and so they know that we sent you. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-8899-789. Must be 21 or older and located in Tennessee to bet.
Where are the best ribs in the Volunteer State? Rickard Ridge. Who has the best barbecue catering packages in East Tennessee? Rickard Ridge. And where is the most beautiful setting to enjoy a meal with family and friends? Rickard Ridge. Rickard Ridge Barbecue. Just a quick ride up I-75, take exit 134, hang a right, and Rickard Ridge is on your left, just inside Cove Lake State Park.
Is your smile ready for the spotlight? Hi, I'm Dr. Jacob Wilco, and at Knoxville Smiles, we make every visit a reason to smile. From routine cleanings to dazzling cosmetic treatments, our experienced team uses the latest technology to keep your teeth healthy and your smile bright. With a warm, welcoming atmosphere and personalized care, we're here to make sure you leave feeling your best. Don't wait. Your perfect smile is just a call away. Book your appointment today at 865-539-1776 or online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Ready to launch your career? Axel Logistics is a leading third-party logistics company where excellence is an energy. With an award-winning culture, Axel proves that positive outcomes come from a positive environment and a work hard, play hard mentality. At Axel, the drive for success is infectious. And with an uncapped commission structure, hard work isn't just noticed, it's rewarded. For those with big goals and even bigger dreams, Axel Logistics is the place to start your career.
Good afternoon. It's building pretty good now on all the major outbound routes, especially through downtown Knoxville, 40 east and west here at Hall of Fame, trying to get past 275. There's been plenty of radar to the north on 75 as you work your way up through Anderson, throughout Campbell County. Some nasty thunderstorms in certain parts of East Tennessee this afternoon as well. Hey, turn your gold and silver coins into cash this weekend. Where? Fountain City Jewelers, located in the heart of Fountain City next to Litton's. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Back here on The Drive, it's Fan Run Radio, Friday afternoon edition of the show, rolling right along. I'm Russell Smith alongside Bear, Jace Brown, and the new guy, Walker, doing the thing on a Friday afternoon edition of the program, and pleased to be joined off the top here by Christopher Gabriel of KMJ Fresno. CG, good afternoon. How are you, sir?
Good afternoon, Russ and Bear, Jace, and is it Walker? Forgive me on that. I forgot to tag him on the post. You know, fellas, it's been a very, and I mean this seriously, it's been an emotional couple of days because my younger daughter, my baby, graduated high school last night, and I'm so proud of her. She was a scholar of academic distinction. It's been emotional, but where does that cross over with the drive and Fox Sports Knoxville? Here's where it crosses over, and I think you've seen it by now. There's so many people at my house doing things, getting stuff ready for the party tomorrow night. I had to find a spot to broadcast with you from, and basically people are saying to me, yeah, whatever, just find someplace. So that's the standing that I hold in this house. Yeah, just go ahead and find someplace. So I am in a walk-in closet facing east, facing the Sierra Nevada range, and I'm finding things in the closet that I didn't know that I had. That I apparently need to get rid of. But these are the lengths that I am willing to go to help my guys out in beautiful Knoxville, Tennessee, Russ.
Well, I'm looking at the picture, CG, and by the way, congrats on getting your daughter graduated. What an accomplishment, man. Empty nest in the near future for CG. That's unbelievable. But I'm analyzing this picture, and I'm looking I'm looking through it. I'm picking out a lot of things here. We're going with jeans on the hanger, huh?
Jeans on the hanger, really, because there's no shelves. Well, there's no chest of drawers in the bedroom, and on the shelves are T-shirts that take up all of that, of which like 2/3 of them are Tennessee T-shirts. So they were either going to have to be on the floor or on a hanger, and I was instructed that they need to be on a hanger. So they're on a hanger. And in this house, the women here dominate everything. And if I even say, "Hey, can I borrow a hanger?" No, you cannot go buy. No, I need that hanger. So I've learned my place, and basically, sometimes I just sit in here and watch a Vols game because it's really the only place that I can find a little solace, a little quiet, a little time to bond with the boys in orange and white.
As much as I'd love to spend the rest of this conversation analyzing your wardrobe, and believe me, we could. That might be more entertaining to some out there, but we got business to tend to here, CG. The baseball Vols have staggered, bloodied, have staggered their way into the Super Regional for the 5th time in a row. An amazing accomplishment. Says so much about Tony Vitello's program here. The defending national champions. A lot of people had given up on them a couple of weeks ago. They are still standing. Is Vanderbilt standing? No. Is Texas standing? No. There's a lot of people who wish they were still playing baseball. Our Volunteers are going to be doing it this weekend in Fayetteville. What are your expectations, Christopher Gabriel, for the Vols this weekend?
Well, I'll tell you. Let's go back a little bit here. What you just said. It's always interesting to read the accounts of fellows and ladies in our industry, where the ones that have a little bit of an agenda to play out, taking shots at the Tennessee baseball program, taking shots at Andrew Fisher, taking shots at the one and only Tony Vitello. And I wonder sometimes when people write or when people go on a talk show in a place like Austin, Texas, in a place like Nashville, Tennessee, I wonder if they have actually lined up their ducks to make them, say it with me, in a row before they go on and make their points. Because as you said, fans and media members and players and coaches of other teams that have this continuing axe to grind with Tennessee baseball, and they point out things that really don't matter. The only thing that matters is what you just said, that in Fayetteville, Arkansas, the Tennessee Vols are still playing. Texas, Vanderbilt, and other schools are not playing. So this team seems to be I've said this before, Russ, and maybe it's more wishful thinking, but it does seem like they are peaking at the right time. They seem to have found their bats just a little bit more. The pitching, when they've needed some big pitches, they've gotten them more often than they haven't. And I think the idea are the Vols underdogs this weekend? I think so. I think it's fair to say that simply because they're playing there. Arkansas is a 3 seed, just by that very nature alone. Arkansas has had a good year. Arkansas 1, 2, or 3 with the Vols. But I think we understand. I mean, you look at Indiana last night in Oklahoma City. Whoever's the underdog doesn't matter. You got to do it on the court. You have to do it on the field. I don't see any reason why this team can't go in there and win this series. Does that mean they will? Not necessarily. But if there's a key that I see, and I'm curious where you guys have analyzed this, Russ, I don't think it's the bats. I think it's the pitching. I think it's the arms, because Arkansas is a big hitting team. They've had a great year at the plate. They're home run hitters. They can spray the ball to all fields. And if the Vols are able to get strong performances from the get-go, and I mean, how often do we say it? You don't want to play from behind. This team does not want to play from behind in Fayetteville. They just don't. You don't want that crowd to get going. If this team can get the crowd out of the game a little bit, it'll jack up whoever's on the mound. And I think the Vols can go in there and win it. But Russ, I believe it begins and ends with pitching.
Yeah, sitting here thinking about it, I mean, you make a solid case. Obviously, we have to score runs as well, but, yeah, I mean, the worst case scenario, and Doyle had probably his worst performance of the year down there.
They had him dialed in, didn't they?
CG, there's been a lot of talk about, you got the suspension to Peebles. You've got Doyle having pitched twice in 3 days over the weekend, or twice in 4 days, I suppose, over the weekend. Do you shake it up and let Marcus Phillips start tomorrow, game one? Remember, he started game one down there last time, and then save Doyle for game two, or do you go with Doyle tomorrow?
I had a feeling you were going to ask this question, and I'm not sure where you boys sit on this. I'm going with Marcus Phillips, not because I feel like Doyle needs an extra day of rest, but I like the fact that mentally Marcus Phillips is going out there thinking, I got these guys. I can beat these guys. Gentlemen, get on my back. I'm going to give you whatever you need. You just get me a couple of key hits, and we're going to take this thing. Now, going back to the arm, if guys start getting on base, then we have to deal with the obvious. And plus, with Peebles out, how are we going to do? How is he going to do keeping runners at first and not having a stolen base fest? But for me, Russ, maybe it's a flip a coin. It's not for Tony. Tony knows exactly. I see what he's going to do. But for me, I kind of like the idea of Marcus Phillips going simply because of what he's already done there, and that's fresh in his mind, and the guys behind him, it's fresh in their minds.
A couple of other reasons for me, Chris. First of all, Tony said when he was on with us, I think it was last week maybe, that he felt like Liam after that. I think it was after the Arkansas game. The next performance he had was kind of shaky, and Tony felt like he was trying too hard to make up for, I'm paraphrasing, what happened against Arkansas. The other reason I'm looking at it, I'm kind of wondering just strategically, that Saturday possibly could be a win or go home game. And I don't know that I wouldn't want my number one pitcher going in a possible elimination game.
Yeah, those are great points, Bear. I couldn't agree with you more. And, I think that, it's funny when you read the pulse, of what folks are saying, and the word folks can again include media, it can include players, and certainly include fans. And I think there's an element of this weekend going in that Tony is also a big factor. And I know that sounds a little pedestrian, but follow me here. I got to believe the kind of guy, the kind of coach that Tony is, it's not beyond him to play the card of, hey, fellas, there ain't anybody who thinks you're going to win even an inning in this series, much less walk out of Fayetteville with a win. It is absolutely Tennessee against everybody else. Nobody wants us to win. Obviously, Arkansas doesn't want us to win. The SEC doesn't want us to win. College baseball elitists, they don't want us to win. And as talented a team as these guys are, they're still 18 to 22, 23-year-olds, and I think a guy like Tony can really make that work and get into their heads about that in the most positive way. And you and I and all of us know here that when teams go into an environment, a hostile environment, that's certainly one of the toughest places, not breaking news here, toughest places in the nation to play. If they are going out there not hoping to win, but expecting to win, that fine line can be the difference in a series win and a trip to Omaha and a trip back to Knoxville with nothing.
Christopher Gabriel, KFJ Fresno, our guest this afternoon on the program. CG, you said Tony could tell his team nobody wants us to win, and that might be true. The narrative popping up around this program again, and you're seeing it some this week in the Ryan McGee piece that I'm sure everybody saw on ESPN, kind of brought this up. You heard Chipper Jones's comments this week, some debate as to whether or not he was actually talking about Tennessee. He might have been talking about Georgia on that one. I don't know. But certainly we all remember Greg McElroy's comments after the World Series last year, and dozens and dozens and dozens, hundreds, maybe thousands of comments through the years about the brashness of Tennessee's program under Tony Vitello. Is that something that you lean into this weekend if you're Tony and the boys, or do you just try and make it a quote-unquote business trip?
How fast can I say yes, that you lean into that? I mean, it's the understood you in a sentence, meaning it's a business trip. Everybody knows that. All the guys getting on the plane understand that. But, Russ, I think you lean into that because really there's a couple of different narratives going right now. There's the narrative that this is a classless team. This Terrence manager, he's garbage. I don't want him leading my young men. And the two narratives are the fan narrative and the people who know narrative. The fan narrative is these bunch of bums. Can I call an 18 to 22-year-old? They selectively pick who they want and what moment they want to label Tennessee players as that. Conveniently forgetting the Arkansas pitcher a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't have any problem. I didn't have any problem with him shooting his mouth off on the mound. He's jacked up. He's playing a rival. I had no problem with that. But similarly, fans seem to have a problem when Tennessee players do that, when Tennessee players are trying to jack up the fans. And you can't have it both ways. And then you have the people who are the fans, again, who are lamenting Tony. Tony is just this, on the express elevator to hell to have a visit with Satan, Tony is just 2 floors up. That's the way a lot of these guys act. Even though we've got the dude from Winston-Salem, the coach from Wake Forest, found saying a couple of things, one in particular that you don't say. I'll tell you this. A good buddy of mine was a tremendous college baseball player, and this is him talking. This is a guy who didn't go to Tennessee. He said, you know what, CG, there's a lot of things that you can say in a dugout at other teams and other coaches, but that's not one of them. That's a line that you don't cross. But again, if Tony comes out and is arguing with the home plate ump, standing up for his guys, which is what his guys not only expect him to do, but love that he does, and the fan base wants him to do, if he does that, it's terrible for the game. That's just horrible. But if Tim Corbin comes out and does it, you get my point. There is this narrative, and it is a false narrative, that Tennessee is classless and they're bad for the game. When you start to talk to people, as I have out here on the West Coast, when you start to talk to people, former players, current coaches, former coaches, and you talk to them, when I talk to them, and I have, about Tennessee, you get a whole different perspective. Boy, I'll tell you what, if I had a son right now, I'd be wanting to send him. If he was good enough, I'd want to send him to Knoxville to play for that man right there. I want my son to play in that environment, in that conference, and so on. So it's important, I think, for fans, even though all of us, media members, fans, casual fans, we all get caught up in all of the hullabaloo as it is. But it's important for folks to remember that there is a difference between what rival fans or rival columnists say versus reality. The reality is Tennessee is a talented baseball team. This is an elite program that is about to have a stadium that gets more elite. The program isn't going anywhere. It's only going to maintain and get better. And that is not for Tennessee fans to worry about defending, even though they will. We will. It's for other fans to deal with.
ACG, I'm going to throw something at you I don't think you're aware of yet, because I just became – our friend Trey Wallace, as a matter of fact, just tweeted or texted this to Bear and I. And so this is going to get a lot of play. I want to get your live, unfiltered reaction.
Okay.
Greg Bluestein of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution has a story up at the AJC website that Derek Dooley, the son of legendary former Georgia coach Vince Dooley, is weighing a run for the United States Senate against Democratic incumbent John Ossoff, a move that could shake up one of the most competitive Senate races in the nation. The first time I've known him for over 5 years now, the first time I've ever heard Christopher Gabriel speechless.
Yeah. Where in the heck do we? This is where you need. This is where you need Dr. Phil to come on and go, what the hell are you thinking? I cannot, for the life of me, understand where or why Derek Dooley would think that he is qualified to. Well, of course, we can look
He is
around.
a lawyer.
Yeah, that's true. You know, and Olivier once said, if it only took crying to be an actor, my grandmother would be an award winner. So
That's great.
I tell you what, that is, if we can see him at a campaign rally, if he weighs this and decides to cast in, if we can see him in a rally in orange pants, in just something to play. Oh my gosh, I cannot imagine. I mean, the only guy that that came to, as you were saying that, the only guy that came to mind that you would have said that an article was written about that was weighing a run for United States Senate, you said, right?
Yes.
Okay, that I would kind of go, oh, maybe is Lane Kiffin.
He ran out of office for moral turpitude.
But listen to what you just said. He would get run out of office. I think he could probably get to office. Now, what happened after that, I don't know. But the point is, the reason I mentioned Lane is because he has got a body of work. He's gotten a certain level of equity. Like him or not, people know who he is, and they know him as a guy who has won, a guy who has lost, but a guy who has survived. Again, whether you like him or not. Derek Dooley, what do you think of? What do you think of with Derek Dooley? I mean, the options are endless, and none of them are good.
Well, here's the deal. Here's what I think they're thinking. Do you remember the Eddie Murphy movie where he became a United States Senator because he changed his name to Jeff Davis? It was all name recognition. This is very calculated, and it'll probably work. People down in Georgia will see Dooley and just hit it.
Well, maybe. I'm waiting for him to win, CG, because I just want to see this play out on the Senate floor. Yes, the chair recognizes the senator from the great state of Georgia. I want to talk about the lack of proper soap in the congressional bathrooms here. We shake more hands than anybody else in America, and there's germs and blah, 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 blah. Senator Dooley, we're discussing nuclear proliferation in the Middle East. Yeah, but we got to focus on the important things.
I'm Senator Dooley for Purell. Yes. Maybe if he changed his name to Vince, that his dad. But I don't know. I mean, I guess he has enough people around him that are whispering in his ear, as politicians are wont to do, and hangers-on are wont to do, saying, no, this is a great idea. It's a great idea. I don't know, though. I mean, for me, for just the comedy of it, I hope he makes the run, fellas.
Wow, CG, I got another one for you.
Oh, my goodness.
This was just sent to us by another fan-run coworker, Brett Hullander. The Hulk sends us this. This is from Front Office Sports, and this actually came out yesterday. You might have seen this. The White Sox and Jerry Reinsdorf have struck an equity deal with Justin Ashibia that could see him sell majority control of the franchise no later than 2029.
Yes.
Is that the light at the end of the tunnel for you guys?
Well, it might be, Bear. Thank you. Listen. First of all, let me just pull the curtain on my great friendship with all of you, but especially with Russ. What most of you don't know is that every now and then Russ just feels it's a need to send me something that he knows is going to get a reaction from me about the White Sox. And it's usually something about a loss, which is almost every day, or it's something about Reinsdorf, which is almost every day. It's something. You know, the grounds in Chicago on the Chicago River that they were going to build a stadium on, the Chicago Fire MLS
I saw that.
has said, we beat you to it, and that's classic White Sox.
And I thought about sending that to you, CG. I did not do that. I want the record to show.
Well, I appreciate that. And noted, and I want you to know that when your kids have momentous times in their lives, I will send stuff to your lovely wife for them, and I will not have your name on the card. But I will just say this, in all seriousness, this to me does sound like an early shot not across the bow, but on the bow, that the White Sox might be Reinsdorf is setting up a stage for this team to move and for him to get, more out of it in the end so that he doesn't look like the bad guy. The White Sox, I mean, as much as I kid about them, and, this was my grandfather from Greece. This was his team. He used to call them his boys. He came over here right after they had won their last World Series before 2005, and he never got a chance in his lifetime to see them because he died early of Parkinson's. My dad, I had a chance to see them finally win one in his lifetime. This is the team that I grew up. I mean, I grew up in Old Comiskey Park in summers. I mean, I was there every weekend with my mom and dad. But I really feel like there is a strong chance this team moves. And I know that Nashville has been one of the cities they've talked about. I will tell you another one. You four of you know it. It's Portland. Portland is a city that has got some elite renderings of a downtown ballpark on the river. That would be fantastic. Portland is very much on Rob Manfred's mind. If the White Sox leave, that's it. I've got a couple of things here at home. White Sox, they will get put in the burn barrel, and that'll be that. I'll never root for them again. But the franchise can't get out of its own way, and Reinsdorf sees himself something of this elite owner that does things the right way, like the Braves organization for more years than not has done, like the Dodgers, like the Yankees. Say what you will about them, they always find ways to make the right moves, and which is why most of us hate them so much, because they win and they do things the right way. The White Sox find a way to do things the wrong way. I'll just say this. I think this is a precursor for the White Sox eventually to move.
Oh, well, I would really hate that, and I don't send you these things just to upset you, CG.
I know.
I want to take interest in the things my friends have interest in and share. But that's
you're very thoughtful.
Not trying to upset you. All right, get back to the party, CG. We appreciate you, my friend. I'm sure we'll be texting this weekend, and who knows, maybe we'll be packing our bags for Omaha next week.
I will say this: if the Vols find a way to win this series in Fayetteville, they are going to win this whole thing all over again. Oh. I really believe that. I really believe it. And that's a big if they can win 2 or 3. But, hey, if we are nothing as sports talk hosts if we don't at least go out on a limb to allow somebody like a DR Vol to say, hey, CG, I love you, but you're an idiot. That's not happening. That's why we say these things. So
DR getting a shout out this afternoon.
Yeah, well, we love DR, so there you go.
All right, CG, we love you. Appreciate you, my man. Thanks for jumping on.
You guys, yeah, anytime. It's my great pleasure. Thanks for the invite. You guys have a great weekend. Go Vols.
All right, talk to you later. Christopher Gabriel making his presence felt this afternoon as only he can. I shouldn't have brought the Reinsdorf thing up.
I mean,
Hollander sent it to me. I thought I had a piece of breaking news, and then as I'm starting to read it to him, like thinking I'm going to tell him something he doesn't know, I glance at the date and realize it was from yesterday.
Yeah, but it's also, that's kind of what we do in our crew. If we find something that might make you feel bad about your professional team you root for, we kind of throw it at you.
It's how we show love.
I mean, there is, the opportunity for him to actually sell the team, though, which would be a good thing.
That's light at the end of the tunnel.
But if he moves the team across to friggin' Portland, that's not going to be a good thing.
I don't think that's going to happen.
You can't move the Chicago White Sox.
Chicago's too big of a city to not have both those teams there.
It's when they say you can't do that. That's
over 100 years of tradition in that location. That would be a disaster for Major League Baseball.
I know it's a problem. They've got to get control of the south side of Chicago. But nobody's been able to do that for 100 years. It's always been lawless. Everybody acts like, they've got these nicknames for it, Chirac and all this. And that's what they call it. It's more dangerous to walk around the south side of Chicago at night than it is to walk through Afghanistan and Iraq.
Oh, no, I've never been more terrified in my life than when we were up there and we had been at one of the museums down there near Jackson Park, and we were coming back to try and get on the L to go back. We missed the wrong spot. And we were in a place we should not have been for 10 minutes waiting on an Uber to rescue us. And let's just say we stood out, my wife and I, like sore thumbs, and I was desperate to get out of there.
Were you down at the O Block?
I don't know where we were at a place we should not have been.
Could you imagine? You guys know what I'm talking about,
I know what
right?
you're talking. Yeah,
we
I know what
do.
you're talking about.
O Block.
Yeah, man.
O Block.
You don't want to go there.
I love Chicago, though, man.
It's a great city.
Yeah.
Never been, though.
It is nice.
Stay with us. The Drive continues. Fan Run Radio. Back with more after this.
The Drive. Follow us on Twitter or X or whatever they're calling it these days at Fox Sports Knox. Fox Sports Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
Are you looking for a treat that will knock it out of the park at the next watch party? Just like your favorite baseball team, Crumble brings the best lineup week to week with an expanded roster that includes key lime pie, strawberry cake, or my personal favorite, Monster featuring M&M candies. Let Crumble treat you to the best cookies in the game. Download the Crumble app and start earning rewards. You can even vote monthly on what flavors you would like to see at any store of your choice. Warmer weather is here, so get to the ballpark, but don't miss the cookies.
We make it easy to save money. Get access to thousands of discounts on shopping, dining, and travel with the C&B Plus Perks account. It's a powerful new way to save money with roadside assistance, cell phone protection, identity theft protection, and credit monitoring. Banking at C&B has its perks. Call or stop by a branch for more details.
Citizens National Bank. Banking never felt so good.
Member FDIC.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
A brand built in Tennessee and born from the love of the game. Inward Half revolutionizes golfing comfort. Crafted by a former pro and dedicated enthusiast just like you, our luxury performance wear guarantees you stay cool and comfortable through every swing and every day. We're not just a brand. We've set out to create a lifestyle for those who understand that impeccable style and premium performance are a hole-in-one. Enjoy the walk-in with Inward Half.
Merritt Garage Door and Services has been serving East Tennessee since 1963. At Merritt, quite simply, the customer comes first. Their door specialists will not try to needlessly upsell you because they are not commission-based like other places. This allows them to focus on your needs and not their pockets. They offer a range of beautiful garage doors in a variety of styles to suit the architecture of your home, and they will supply and install a wide range of garage door openers and accessories to take your door to the next level. To request a quote or schedule a service repair call, visit merrittgaragedoor.com.
It's back! You asked for it and you got it. All You Can Eat Wednesdays is back with your Knoxville Smokies. The most delicious Wednesday dinner. All you can eat pulled pork, hot dogs, Bush's baked beans, Uncle Ray's potato chips, popcorn, Pepsi products, and more. Is anyone else getting hungry? But we aren't finished yet. This week we've also got Thirsty Thursday, Princess Night and fireworks on Friday, 90s Night and the Toy Story game, and fireworks on Saturday. And our Sunday day game is a huge mascot party. Get your tickets now at smokiesbaseball.com.
Good afternoon. It continues to be stop and go up and down Kingston Pike in certain areas, especially there at Concord Road and Farragut, as it builds even more so through downtown Knoxville, 40 West at 17th Street. We're dodging some nasty thunder showers out here, certain parts of East Tennessee this afternoon as it gets heavier on Broadway right now through Fountain City. Hey, turn your gold and silver coins into cash this weekend at Fountain City Jewelers at North Knoxville, right there next to Litton's. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Derek Dooley running for Senate.
I mean, he'll probably
I need
win.
this to happen.
I do.
Why? Just the
I don't know. Why not? It's entertaining.
Just the story.
Freaking Dooley.
Yeah.
Is that part of the problem? Is that when we started treating these people as entertainment?
A little bit.
I mean, it's always been that way. It's always been.
It hadn't. No.
They've always been
cable
stars.
news.
Yeah, you know, George Washington was a celebrity. He didn't really have any. I guess he had a little bit of political experience, but he was a war hero.
Did they have celebrities back in those days?
Sure.
How do you have celebrities without any kind of media?
I mean, you have
word of mouth,
newspapers, word of mouth. Newspapers were big back then.
Newspaper that's going to be printed once a month.
They had pamphlets.
Like TMZ.
Pamphlet. I mean, have you ever heard of Common Sense? Thomas Paine?
Yeah. What was they got ugly in the 18 what was it called? Was it Tammany Hall? Like if you look at some of those old these horrendous political attack ads started in the 1800s.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's been
What's
a
all that
cesspool
stuff?
since day one.
Ever since the printing press. There have been target pieces.
So, I mean, like, and you say what you will about Dooley, a football coach, like, he is a conscientious worker. Like, it's just like, can he be bought like the rest of them?
Sure.
Or is he going to get up there and do what he thinks is right?
I don't know. You want to hear something cool?
Sure, why not?
I had dinner with Derek Dooley when I was 11 years old.
And that's telling us that is.
Oh, my God.
I don't really think it was
When he was
cool.
coach here?
Yeah.
Makes me question your.
How'd you manage that?
Me and his son Peyton, we went to school together in the same class at Sequoia, and we were really good friends.
Peyton Dooley?
Yeah, Peyton Dooley. So I went over to their house a couple times.
So you went to Sequoia too, huh?
Yeah, I did go to Sequoia.
And Dooley was there?
Yeah, we were in the same class.
No,
Same
I mean, like,
homerooms.
like Derek Dooley was there. You would go over and it's like,
Yes.
it's your friend's dad.
Yeah, he made us dinner.
Is he a
What'd
good
he make?
cook?
Yeah.
What'd he make?
I only did one dinner there, and he grilled burgers and made baked potatoes.
Burgers and baked potatoes.
Something like that, I think.
Where did? Oh, the place over on Duncan Road.
Yeah,
that's a nice place.
it's a really nice place.
I was out your way last weekend.
What?
Your old stomping grounds.
Back there?
Yeah.
What? Tell me more. I'm intrigued. What was Dooley like as just
a dad?
Yeah, your friend's dad.
I mean, honestly, I was so young that it really did just feel like my friend's dad all the time. Because me and Peyton, we would just sit around and play Mario Kart and go run in the yard all day when I would go over.
I mean, it just didn't. I mean, you're 11 years old. I mean,
I
my
didn't.
dad's a
no,
coach, but
it
it's
didn't.
not.
No, it didn't hit me how actually cool that kind of was.
He
until-
wasn't having closed door meetings with lots of shady guys carrying briefcase and backpacks and
not
stuff
that
like that.
No, not that I noticed.
That is weird how it is when you're a little kid.
Yeah.
Because like, think back on it now. Like I've got a couple of friends whose dads that, if I knew then, like how big a deal it was pretty cool.
Yeah. I didn't even think about it until he got fired, and then they moved away.
Now, I remember when there was a kid in our grade who I grew up with whose dad worked in the athletics department, and I remember going over to their house for a birthday, and he would bring like a couple of players. I don't know if he brought them over for the birthday to sign autographs or why they were there, but I just remember going in, and there was Reggie Cobb, like
Really?
sitting on this guy's couch watching. It was a Sunday, so he's like watching NFL games.
That's awesome.
And
Dude, he's massive.
I was like 7 or 8 and had just gotten into football and sports. I got into it at a pretty young age, but I remember being starstruck at that age.
Yeah, that's what was crazy for me is I didn't get into sports until I became a teenager, like 13 or 14. So when I was 11, I didn't really watch a lot of sports. I had gone to some games, but I didn't really
that's good
care all
because
that much about it.
Dooley probably, it would have been really weird for him or anybody if you come home and there's some kid just clearly in awe of you.
Yeah.
Just staring at you.
Yeah, just staring
wherever
at
you're
him.
at.
Wow, there's Derek Dooley.
Yep. I was
Head
also
coach of the Vols.
Yeah, man. I was also friends with Quanzo Martin's son, Jace. I never met Quanzo though. We were also in the same class at Sequoia Elementary.
Conzo?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, Dooley cooking burgers for Walker's dumb ass and his dumb kid. And he should have been out there recruiting.
Maybe.
You think Josh Heupel has time to grill for his kid and their dumb friends?
I was
No.
11. I probably was.
Winners don't have Saban would never. Stay with us. Hour number 2 of The Drive coming up. It's Fan Run Radio.
The Drive. Fan Run Radio is proud to present the 37 Club, an exclusive community of the lifeblood of Fan Run Radio. You, our biggest supporters. With a membership to the 37 Club, you receive exclusive content like podcasts, blogs, and videos, giveaways, and access to exclusive merchandise and events. So join the 37 Club today. by going to fanrunradio.com.
When it's past high noon, it's time for a vodka soda made with a vodka you've actually heard of. I'm talking White Claw vodka soda made with White Claw premium vodka. JB Smooth only drinks vodka soda made with the world's smoothest vodka.
And you can too. Pick you up a bottle of the triple wave filtered vodka that's been distilled 5 times. White Claw Premium Vodka comes in 4 flavors: black cherry, mango, pineapple, and just vodka. You haven't had vodka like this. No one has. White Claw Premium Vodka. Please drink responsibly.
Tired of your home looking outdated? Drafty windows costing you a fortune on your energy bills? Then it's time to give your home a massive upgrade from North Knox Siding and Windows. At North Knox Siding and Windows, they don't just improve homes, they transform them. Their high-quality, energy-efficient windows and durable siding not only enhance your home's curb appeal, but also save you money year-round. With over 20 years of experience and thousands of happy customers, it's easy to see how they've built a reputation on trust, craftsmanship, and unbeatable value. Call North Knox Siding and Windows today and set up a free estimate. Their phone number is 865-689-0505. That's 689-0505. Or just go online to northknoxsidingandwindows.com and tell them Fan Run Radio sent you. North Knox Siding and Windows, where quality meets value and your home gets the attention it deserves.
Have you ever found yourself wishing your clothes looked brand new again? Whether it's your favorite suit, that little black dress, or your comfy winter coat, Crown Cleaners can make it happen. From stubborn stains to delicate fabrics, the expert team at Crown Cleaners uses the latest cleaning technology to ensure your clothes come back looking and feeling fresh. Visit one of their 2 area locations, Kingston Pike on Bearden Hill or South North Shore Drive near Dunkin' Donuts. Online at crowncleaners.com. Crown Cleaners, a tradition of excellence.
They'll challenge your authority because that's what kids do. But this car is your territory, and in here, your word is law. So when you say you won't move until everyone's buckled up, you won't budge an inch until you hear that click. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. For more information, visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
We really need to get some branded stuff. Shirts, hats, promo items, something professional.
I mean, we could just find a website and order a bunch of it ourselves.
You could, but you're taking a big risk. You don't know the quality, the fit, the timeline. It's a roll of the dice.
Yeah, I guess, but isn't that how everyone does it now?
Not the ones who actually care about how their brand looks. Look, if we're putting our name on it, it needs to be done right. We need SM Athletics.
SM Athletics?
Yeah, they specialize in working with businesses like ours. Apparel, hats, promo gear, but real, customized stuff. They actually care if it turns out right.
Probably a lot better than getting stuck with 100 t-shirts with crooked logos.
Exactly. Plus, they'll walk you through everything. Sizing, colors, material, so it matches the image we're trying to build.
Makes sense. What's the name again?
SM Athletics. Trust me, if you want to look like a real company, not a flea market stand, this is the move. If you're serious about your brand, work with people who are serious about getting it right. SM Athletics.
Good afternoon. It's busy on all the major outbound routes, especially through downtown Knoxville right now. I-40 over here at 17th Street as that traffic builds as well across the Holston River Bridge, flowing right out into Sevier, up into Jefferson County. Watch for some thunderstorms out here moving through certain parts of East Tennessee this afternoon. Fountain City Jewelers, your diamond engagement ring headquarters. Go by and see Mark Enix this weekend at Fountain City Jewelers right next to Litton's. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
It's time for the Drive's Top 4 at 4.
Hour number 2 of the Drive underway. Fan Run Radio on the Top 4 at 4 is brought to you this afternoon by Barley's Pizzeria and Tap Room. Come join us for a Fan Run Radio listener watch party tomorrow. Tennessee baseball versus Arkansas, 5 p.m. first pitch. We'll be hanging out at Barley's, having some pizza, drinking some cold beverages, watching the baseball Vols in the Old City. Come check it out tomorrow. Jace, what do you got?
Thank you. At number 1, Game 1 of the Fayetteville Super Regional gets started tomorrow as the number 3 Razorbacks host the number 14 Vols at 5 p.m. on ESPN. The Hogs are currently at minus 146 to win the Super Regional, and the Vols are at plus 114.
Who is their pitcher tomorrow? I know Gage Wood and the guy we roughed up. I'm blanking on. That's the guy that starts tomorrow.
Oh, who was it?
And
the
then
Arkansas fella say?
Wood is the second one. I'm spacing out. Nobody remembers their ace.
I can't remember.
I had it written down.
All right, never mind. We haven't announced our starters yet.
Don't believe so. Not yet.
Well, Tony said yesterday that they hope to have a plan by the time they leave town today. So he also said he doesn't like doing all the mind games and everything, but I think he's kind of doing the mind games and everything. He knows, right? He knows it. And he's known all week exactly what they're going to do,
yeah,
right?
I mean, you don't think him and Frank have got it dialed in with who they want?
And we're just messing with Van Horn.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, why show your cards before you have to?
Yeah. It's on Tony. I mean, Tony has always been showing. He's like, to hell with it. Like, he just tell you what he's going to do.
This really should be a matchup that goes down in Omaha, honestly.
Yeah, it should be.
I saw an incredible, and it wasn't knocking us. I saw it was somebody with, it was some Hogs affiliated website or podcast put out an unbelievable hype video for this game.
It's going to be really good. It's going to be a fun series, hopefully.
Is this the biggest game of the season, you think, overall?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no, the stakes have not been higher than right now.
The Super Regional,
Not for Tennessee. I'm just talking.
For Vitello?
No.
For what,
like,
then?
When's the
college
last
baseball?
College baseball.
Oh.
I think it's going to be probably the best environment.
Yeah, it's the best Super Regional
Yeah,
for sure.
this year.
I mean, all-out heavyweight fight.
Oh, yeah.
At number 2, Greg Bluestein of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution reports that Derek Dooley, former Tennessee head coach whose father was a University of Georgia icon, told the Atlanta Journal-Constitution on Friday he'll make a decision whether to enter the Republican primary in the coming weeks. Quote, Georgia deserves stronger, common-sense leadership in the U.S. Senate that represents all Georgians and focuses on results, not headlines.
Yeah, that's what I think of when I think of Derek Dooley, common sense. Who was it that he didn't recruit? It was legendary. He didn't take a lineman in 1 year.
Like, he messed up Jalen Ramsey's recruitment, messed up Von Bell's recruitment.
Didn't think he didn't
ones.
have any kind of relationship with the high school coaches in the state. They hated him. Did you see him getting his 5 minutes in some Senate hearing and him going into his whole Rommel thing? That dude was entertaining behind the mic at press
All those
conferences.
interviews that they do, like from the Rotunda on the cable news channels.
Oh, he'll be
We
perfect
go
for
live
that.
now to Derek Dooley standing by.
Senator
with,
Dooley from Republican, Georgia.
Yeah. And he's just ranting about stuff.
Were you still covering over there when he was?
Oh, yeah.
So you're
I've
like
interviewed
in the
Dooley
room?
face-to-face many times, yeah.
Did you? I mean, before we knew, did you? Like, when did you know?
Here's my thing. Look, Dooley was always. It was weird because when he was in public and there were lots of people around, he was really good. But you would always hear stories about how once he got in private, he's like, why do I have to do that? I don't want to have to talk to these people. These people are idiots. But, like, to your face, he was always really nice and polite. Like, he never. And I only interacted with him on a handful of occasions, but he never chewed me out or anything.
I mean, there's some legendary stories about people that.
The first time I heard Dooley curse was his first year on campus, and I was going to a practice. It might have been a spring practice. It was a spring practice or a fall camp before his first season, 2010. And so they're letting the media onto the practice field to interview players and coaches. And they're like, wait just a few minutes, like he's talking to the team or whatever. And then they let us in. As I'm walking out there, he's talking to the team after practice. You know, everybody's on a knee. He's standing in the middle, and he is just reaming them out. Just dog cussing them. And he had like this rhythm going where he's just listing everything that he hated about this team's so soft, and it's pissing me the bleep off. We can't cover a kick, and it pisses me the bleep off. We can't complete a pass. It pisses me the bleep off. Just for like 5 minutes. Just listing everything, and then it pisses me the bleep off. Just screaming. Oh, it was great.
Do you have the orange dog out there with him?
He could deliver a profanity-laced tirade with the best of them now.
At number 3, the Super Regionals began today, and there's already been a couple games start and end, in fact. 5-seed UNC trounced Arizona 18-2 earlier today in Chapel Hill and are one win away from the College World Series. And in the bottom of the second inning, Louisville has taken a 2-0 lead over Miami. Later tonight, Oregon State hosts Florida State at 6 o'clock, and at 9 o'clock, Auburn hosts Coastal Carolina.
Make your Arizona State heart happy just to watch in North Carolina. Just give them the business.
Yeah, you hate to
Total
see a
barrel
team
job.
get absolutely destroyed and embarrassed and just obliterated on national television. But can't say I felt bad when they were down 16 in the 8th inning. Pretty great. Pretty awesome.
Couldn't happen to a better crew.
Couldn't happen to a better crew, truly.
And at number 4, the New York Knicks are conducting active due diligence on Dallas Mavericks coach Jason Kidd, among other head coaching candidates, in their search to replace Tom Thibodeau, sources told ESPN today. The Knicks have yet to request permission to speak to Kidd, who has 2 years remaining on the contract extension he signed during the Mavs' 2024 run to the NBA Finals.
I don't know why. I get it that
should stay down there.
Yeah, the Knicks roster is really good and set to win now. But you're about to get to Coach Cooper Flagg.
Yeah, and it didn't go well for you in Brooklyn. Like you should stay there.
Yeah.
Develop. All right, thank you, Jace. Game 2 of the NHL Stanley Cup Finals are tonight.
Oh yeah, did you watch any of the first game?
Bear, do you know who's playing in the Cup Finals this year?
Mm-mm. Which cup?
Stanley Cup.
Oh. I feel like we've talked about this. Is it teams that you wouldn't think would be in it, like Southern teams?
Oh, wait.
There's one Southern team.
Is it Carolina?
Nope.
Is it a Florida team?
It is a Florida team.
The Panthers?
It is the Panthers.
The Kraken?
Nope.
I think that's a cool
one of the teams is Canadian.
The Canadiens?
No.
Blues?
No.
The
Maple
Blues are in
Leafs?
St.
Blues are in
Louis.
St. Louis.
Oh, that's right. Montreal, that's Canadians.
That is the Canadians.
What happened to the Vancouver Canucks? Are they still a team, or did they move?
They're still a team.
still there.
They're
Canucks
still
are
there.
still
Not very
Canucks.
good.
Yeah.
Good for them.
They made a decent run last year.
Montreal.
They have the best player in the world on their team.
Oh, Ovechkin?
No.
Oh.
It's like the most northern team
Yeah.
in the league. It's
Quebec?
It's up there.
No. Well,
Gretzky.
I can't remember.
You don't remember who Wayne Gretzky originally played for?
No, I'm drawing a blank right now. It's just in a black. It's in
I
one
thought
of
that
those
would be
balls.
the easiest slam dunk of all time.
Well, yeah, I've got spots where it's just like if I'm trying to think of something, I can't.
The Oilers.
Edmonton Oilers.
Connor
Damn.
McDavid.
I mean, I'll tell you. You know what? When I stopped with hockey was, you remember how long ago was it when they had the big strike? It was in the 2000s.
That was
and like they
before I
can't. You
was
remember that, Russ? They
thinking about
canceled
it.
a whole season.
Yeah, I remember the story. I don't remember when it was.
It was very similar when baseball did it in the 90s, and they just never got me back.
It's a hard sport to watch. They got 2 halftimes. Thank you, Jace. That is the top 4 at 4, brought to you by Barley's. Come out and watch the game with us tomorrow. Fan Run Radio listener watch party at Barley's Pizzeria and Tap Room in the Old City. Setting up a big second hour here. We got the Cookie Man coming up in just a few minutes to help us break down this Tennessee-Arkansas matchup for the ages. Logan Quinton going to join us on the phones coming up here just a little bit. If you want to join us on the phones, go ahead and take a shot now. 865-966-3435. Your number to get on the program, call or text 865-966-3435. your number to get on board. Boy, how about the Pacers last night? Just stealing game. One of the all-time great thefts. There were so many. I was so tired last night.
Me too.
And I wanted to turn that off so badly. But just something in my head said, like, these games have been crazy. Because it was like a 9 to 12 point lead for most of the game.
Yeah, I remember at halftime it was like 12, 13 points.
And they kept trimming it down. They got it to 6 a couple of times, and then OKC would spurt back, and you're just thinking, it's OKC. OKC is so boring.
Whoa.
It's such a boring team to watch, man.
What?
It's just they're such a one-man dominated team.
They were last night. Well, Shea decided he wanted to take like 40 shots.
I really find myself pulling
No, he
for
didn't shoot him out of it. Like, he played well. It's just.
Where was it at? Was it
Oklahoma City? Yeah.
To be honest, on an honest Friday, I completely forgot about it.
That's disappointing.
It's par for the course.
Not surprising at all.
No.
Yeah, man, that was, and then they just kept hanging around, man. That's what Indiana does. They hang around.
Yeah, I'll admit I did fall asleep before the game.
Oh,
was
you did?
over.
Oh,
I
man,
did. I woke up and I saw what happened. I was like, dang it.
Oh, it was awesome. Awesome finish to a game, and you knew they were going to Halliburton, and you knew as soon as that shot went up, he was making it.
Oh, yeah.
Is that like the 4th time this postseason they've done something like that?
Yeah, and Halliburton all the
ridiculous.
time. I mean, they say the clutch gene is overrated. I don't know, man. That dude is pretty clutch.
I heard I was listening to something earlier today, and there's a stat that how many players since 2000 do you think have more like game-winning shots in the playoffs since 2000?
I'm sorry, do what? Have more game-winning shots than him?
Yeah, than Tyrese Halliburton in the playoffs since the year 2000. I believe I'm remembering this correctly.
LeBron
is the only one.
That's the list.
Yeah.
LeBron has 8. Tyrese Halliburton has 5.
And he's not a huge – I mean, he has a big scoring average, but he's – like it's not uncommon to him like 13, 15 points a game. But he just – he's there when you need him, man.
I mean, I think he's – like,
is there anybody you would rather have with the ball in his hands right now in a late game situation?
I mean, it's like it's crazy how it flipped. Like it was same conversation with Jalen Brunson before the last series, but with what he did against the Celtics and everything, and now it's Tyrese Halliburton. He has three borderline game winners in this playoffs. It's crazy.
Absolutely insane.
Won't be falling asleep during any more of those games.
I may watch them. You guys ought to remind me.
We do.
I think we talked about it yesterday.
It's been in the top 4 and 5 every time there's been a game this postseason.
We text
we
each other
can't.
a lot.
We can't text you. Hey, Bear, the game is tipping off right now. We're not your alarm system.
Yeah, but we text each other like usually on average at least 2 or 3 times an evening. Somebody will have something funny to say or like, how hard would it be? Hey, Bear, game starting.
How hard would it be just to pay attention to the show?
It's true.
You know, there's a big old button on your remote that says guide. You can surf channels. You know,
just do it for me. Just do it for. I don't want to do. I don't want to think. I don't want to brain tonight. Just brain for me,
dude. There's even remotes that you can talk into, and it'll take you to the channel.
You do it. I've got on thing. I just want to do it.
I completely forgot that the games are starting last night.
You think for me when you do all the stuff. Can you tell me to just watch the
take a break, Russ?
Just
Don't
watch
start.
the game.
It's been a nice peaceful Friday afternoon. Now you want to get me all gassed up.
You just watch the game for me and then tell me everything that happened the next day.
Oh gosh.
Got Logan Quinton coming up, the Cookie Man.
Can you just talk for me on the show too, James?
Give his breakdown of the big super regional matchup in Fayetteville this weekend.
Just say this is Bear, and then you do all the talking for me. I'll just sit here.
Maybe he'll have some. Hold on, I'm trying to do the show here, fellas. I am eager to see what Logan thinks. See who he thinks we're going to see tomorrow night.
Yeah, he might need to remind you when the game starts.
It's because Bear. Do you know what time we're playing tomorrow?
It's like 5 o'clock, isn't it?
Stay with us. The drive continues. The Cookie Man cometh right after this.
The Drive. Can't get enough Fan Run Radio? Download the free Fan Run app and take the best Tennessee sports conversations with you wherever you go.
Hey Knoxville! Surfside iced tea and vodka, made with real brewed tea, is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, with no bubbles and no troubles. That's right, zero carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. Headed to a game day or party at a friend's house? Bring an iced tea or lemonade variety pack from Surfside, or try their green tea and new raspberry tea vodka. Find the can with the sunset stripes this season. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sunshine in a can. Must be 21 or older. Enjoy responsibly.
Citizens National Bank.
We specialize in relationship banking, from your first car to your first home, a growing family, or a thriving business. C&B is here for you. If you're a customer, we thank you for placing your trust in us. If you're not already, we welcome you to become one today. Find out more at cnbtn.com.
Citizens National Bank. Banking never felt so good.
Member FDIC.
Is your car ready for the road ahead? At Matlock Tire and Auto Service, they've got everything you need to keep you and your family safe on the road. Whether you need new tires, a quick oil change, or expert repairs, Matlock is your one-stop shop that keeps you moving safely. Matlock's certified technicians offer top-notch service for brakes, alignments, batteries, and more. Plus, they carry all the top tire brands, and they're the home of the world-famous price match guarantee. Bring in any competitor's ad, and they'll match the exact same tire for the exact same price. That's how Matlock Tire goes the extra mile for you. Convenient, reliable, affordable. Matlock Tire and Auto Service. Visit any of their 5 area locations in East Tennessee, in Farragut, Lenoir City, Maryville, Athens, and Hardin Valley. Find the location nearest you and schedule your appointment online today at matlocktireservice.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mike Costa at Knoxville Smiles. Here at Knoxville Smiles, we're all about making it easier for you to see the dentist. That's why we're now open until 7 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. If going to the dentist in the morning or during normal business hours doesn't fit your busy schedule, come see us a little later. Call 865-539-1776 to schedule your appointment, or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Ready to launch your career? Axle Logistics is a leading third-party logistics company where excellence is an energy. With an award-winning culture, Axle proves that positive outcomes come from a positive environment and a work hard, play hard mentality. At Axle, the drive for success is infectious. And with an uncapped commission structure, hard work isn't just noticed, it's rewarded. For those with big goals and even bigger dreams, Axle Logistics is the place to start your career.
Do you love to gamble? Do you enjoy listening to people talk about gambling? Well, then I have some good news for you. Every weeknight at 6 p.m., you can hear John Reed and William Pattison go over the slate, thanks to our friends at VIP Play. Sports topics aren't always black and white, but on the slate, they are always green. Nothing but trends, angles, and bets to try to make you some money. The Slate, presented by VIP Sports on Fan Run Radio, weeknights from 6 to 7 p.m.
Good afternoon. It's heavy through downtown Knoxville as we check it out live again. 40 West at 17th Street, Alcoa Highway really building now, pushing back into the Blount County area. Try to dodge some nasty thunderstorms out here in certain parts of East Tennessee this Friday afternoon. Give yourself extra time. Be careful. Fountain City Jewelers, your diamond engagement ring headquarters this bridal season. Stop by and see them this weekend and save a lot of money by shopping local at Fountain City Jewelers next to Litton's. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Back here on the Drive, Fan Run Radio, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM. Streaming online this afternoon at fanrunradio.com and your free Fan Run app. A variety of ways for you to experience the program. Thanks for tuning in. You know, we've been doing the Drive for 15 years now, but we've only been seriously talking about college baseball for 5 or 6 years. Yeah. But we have a lot of fun doing it. Logan Quinton's been a big part of that through the years. The Cookie Man is here. Good afternoon, LQ. How are you, sir?
Good afternoon, fellas. I just got home and going to settle in and catch some college baseball. And it's I got to admit, it's kind of nice. Get to take a breather on a Friday and take in some college baseball, and that way it gives me a little bit of a gap, and I don't have to kind of be tense all day today awaiting the Vols in Arkansas. That's tomorrow. So I think it bodes well for Tennessee that it turned out to be a Saturday series and certainly helped me.
Yeah, they needed that with
Monday.
The extension of the series and the regionals and all that stuff. So I think it works out well, sets up good for Tennessee. We'll see what they can do with Arkansas at Arkansas, but it's a big one. Logan, you're going to be in here with us tomorrow night for Voluntary Reaction, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Wow. Yeah. Outstanding, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. Be sure to tune us in as soon as the game is over. We'll be streaming on the Fan Run app, live at fanrunradio.com, and we'll break it down for a while with you here as hopefully it will be a Keg of Glory edition, but this is going to be a tough one. And just you and I were talking earlier, LQ, this Arkansas team, they are stacked. We found it out the hard way down there. That lineup can really, really mash. And for Tennessee, you go back a couple of weeks ago, you win that first game with Marcus Phillips, and we're all high-fiving thinking, this is it. We're finally going to win a series at Arkansas. We got Liam Doyle going in game 2, and it just didn't work out. They win that game, and then game 3 was a disaster, the crazy balk call, everything, whatever happened there.
Yeah.
What's changed since then?
Not a ton, and I talked about this on the podcast. We didn't really do a deep dive because it felt like yesterday we were just going over this matchup, but a couple of important things. You mentioned Doyle and the factor that, okay, we've already won a game, and, certainly we're going to win this series with Doyle, and he had probably his roughest outing of the season. That was back around the same time frame that he was dealing with blister issues and things like that, so wonder how much that factors in. But for me, the biggest difference for Arkansas, if you go back to that series, one key factor for them out of the bullpen was Aiden Jimenez, and he had been surging for them and been this weapon. And yeah, he had a rough outing. Gave up 3 2/3 against Tennessee, and ever since then, kind of been scuffling. So, but in that same time frame for Arkansas, Gage Wood has gotten primed up. He missed some time earlier in the year, came back mid-April, and he had his best performance last weekend in that Arkansas regional. Struck out 13, didn't walk any. So it seems like he's primed up. So it's like this compensation piece that, Jimenez, who had been such an X factor for them out of the pen, his trajectory has been going down while Gage Wood is primed up and ready to go. I've looked a little bit throughout the night and all day today trying to see if there's some official postings for either team in terms of starters, but I would expect Zach Root to throw game 1 and then Gage Wood game 2. So those are the biggest differences for Arkansas. And for Tennessee, the lineup really started to take a turn, I feel like, at Arkansas in that series just a few weeks ago. That didn't jump out to you in the box score in Fayetteville, but I think that's really where they kind of planted this seed of like more competitive at bats and cementing a lineup that they're just going to flat out stick with. And, you fast forward a few weeks later, we're coming off the Knoxville regional talking about how this lineup looks pretty fluid. And there's some guys have found ways to produce unconventionally. And then up at the top, you have the heavy hitters with Andrew Fisher and then obviously Gavin Keelan. So you mix that in with guys at the bottom with Manny Marin and Reese Chapman, hopefully carrying things over into this weekend. It's going to be a fantastic matchup.
Logan Quinton on the phone with us here this afternoon. Logan, we have talked about the decision to go with Phillips or Doyle tomorrow all week long. I think we're all familiar with the pros and cons of it by now. What would you do tomorrow if you're Tony Vitello and Frank Anderson?
Well, the one thing that Tony and I see eye to eye on, and I've been thinking about this all week, Russ. He mentioned it in the presser. I kept thinking to myself, Tennessee's got the edge in terms of depth with the arms. And the dynamic that changes with this 3-game, this best of 2, Tony mentioned we're planning for 2 games because there's nothing guaranteed after that. So pulling things from the last series, that's another factor as to why, things might not stick exactly like you might put them in that puzzle piece if you're going off a last series. And I think that bodes well Tennessee's favor. With that said, I don't have a preference one way or the other. I think there's a path either way. My gut, and if you want me to give an answer, what I would do if I just gun to my head, I would go Phillips game 1. I heard you guys talking to CG earlier on my way in, and I agree. I love the fact that it goes back to last year. Drew Beam being on that Saturday roll, that game 2 roll, throughout the course of the year paid off. And it was knowing exactly what you have in an elimination scenario or to take the series. And it's not just that. It's not as easy as that. Like I said, I don't have a preference either way, but that's where I would lean because I think there's other components as well. If you I would ask this, who is the most likely pitcher to kind of get roughed up a little bit and not get some length? That would be Phillips. So if you're Phillips and you're 4 innings in and the pitch count's high, you've given up a few runs, and you see something like, should we go get him here? You can really start to stack the pitching and still give Phillips a chance to come back in a game 3 scenario. So there's those factors as well. But at the end of the day, they've got 2 great options. They've got the pitcher of the year in the SEC, Golden Spikes finalist in Liam Dool. I don't think there's a wrong answer, but Phillips for game 1 is what I would lean if I had to.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting how Tony is kind of going with a burn the ships mentality where he says, look, we'll worry about game 3 if and when we get there. But they're going all in on these first 2 games. So that doesn't sound to me, Logan, like a coach who's worried about maybe I'll just save A.J. Russell for a potential game 3.
No.
I think if he has the chance to win either game, especially the second one, if they win the first one and they're up late in the second one, I think he's going to throw caution to the wind, gamble, and use his best pitchers and try and get out of there.
I agree, and I love it as well. And I think there may be a big payoff for Tennessee and Tony because to me, if you go back to last year, the 24 season championship year, you take that series from A&M out in Omaha. Those were flat out the best teams in the country. It was undeniable, right? And Tony and his group felt like they had the best team. It was a matter of facing that grind throughout the course of the season. This year, I have a sense that he feels like and knows that he has the deepest team and deepest roster on both sides, bats and arms. That's the way I see it. And it's a matter of running the course. There's still that grind, but getting to the point of finding your lineup and the arms producing at the optimal time. And I think that may be what we're seeing because it's the theme this year offensively, and Tony has mentioned it, is trying to figure out the lineup and some fielding position. There was a huge chunk of the year you're trying to figure that out. And then with the arms, it's kind of the same type of deal. And a huge piece of that out of their control was, A.J. Russell and his status. So he's back, and he's where you want him to be. And I think where he's at in terms of his length and his endurance, more importantly, his pitch mix, it's about all you could ask for going back to, let's say, February. And so with that said, I think they're starting to see some stuff within the lineup and on the pitching side of things. Tanner Franklin, for one, that's a dude, if he can get 4 to 6 outs for you in Fayetteville, he could do that a couple of times. I mean, that's huge. That just changes the game. So for me, I think that's a huge theme is I think some dividends are going to pay out this weekend and going forward.
Logan Quinton with us this afternoon here on The Drive. Logan, before we get to, I want to talk about the portal a little bit and what Tennessee is doing there, but Anything else as it pertains to this matchup with Arkansas right now?
Yeah, what sticks out to me, you mentioned how fluid they are. I mean, just up and down the lineup, guys, that it's really good hit tools and really good power, just up and down. They're not really volatile in that deal. What sticks out to me is how good they are against lefties. Best in the league, best in the SEC against lefties, hitting 350. Also good against righties, hitting 300. So there's a dynamic there where I think in just about any other matchup in this tournament, the field of 16, I think Brandon Arvidsson would have a different role where you could throw him in some lefty matchups in game one that you like, and then come back to him to maybe start or get some length in a game 3 scenario, or even go back to back. I think they're going to have to be selective with Arvidsson. As good as he's been, I'm a huge believer in him, but unless they love half of these matchups in this Arkansas lineup, I think they're going to have to be selective with that. But again, they can play that to their strength, where they can sprinkle in Arvidsson throughout the weekend with, an inning at a time, multiple games to go along with the lefty option and Dylan Loy and things like that. So that sticks out to me. But yeah, it's either way, this thing's going to be a battle. You can kind of throw that stuff out the window. Like Tony says, he's about his guys competing pitch to pitch, and who brings that effort, that want to the ballpark.
Hey, look, that reminded me, I was wanting to ask you, so what you just said with Arvidsson, how many times can he conceivably pitch this weekend?
I mean, with the way, ideally, we're talking in, ideal world, or maybe we can kind of bump it down to, let's say, an average Marcus Phillips start, an average Leon Dulce start, which is pretty fantastic. And it comes down to what matchups they like with Arvidsson. And like I said, in a neutral setting, when you're not facing a team that's so good against lefties, Arvidsson can really get you some length, or even start a game 3 or something like that. But just me looking at these numbers and haven't seen Arkansas, I think that they will go to Arvidsson more selectively. And he could pitch, altogether 60, 70 pitches over the weekend if he wanted to combine.
If you split him up, because I think his last 2 outings he's gone triple digits on pitches, hasn't he?
It doesn't ring a bell, but he totally could. Yeah, I think in what was it? Was it Hoover?
Yeah, Hoover. He rang up 100 and something in one game.
Yeah.
I could have sworn maybe he didn't last weekend.
I just think they'll stack their pitching a little bit and give different looks. You've got Tanner Franklin, A.J. Russell, Nate Snead, Dylan Loy, along with Arvidsson. That's 5 names right there. And then there's others as well too that they can. Krenzel. Krenzel's a guy that was so huge, I thought.
Yeah, if we're going to win, if it goes 3 series and we win, Braden Krenzel has pitched he's had a really good outing somewhere in there for 3 or 4 innings.
I wonder which Nate Snead were. That's always the roll of the dice.
Yeah.
You either get nasty Nate or,
Yeah, so he is so similar. So Nate Snead, Reese Chapman, very similar parallels, I feel like, because the story with them in terms of production and that thin line is the thin margins. Reese Chapman's putting together some really good at-bats. He is just barely missing the barrel on some. But we've seen him make contact on what he could do. He had the home run, the solo home run last weekend in the Knoxville Regional, and then the Grand Slam in Hoover. Nate Snead, similar deal. When it comes to the fastball and cutter, he has to rely on the edges of the strike zone. And when he's off just a bit and it's close to dead red, he gets mashed. And so I think there's similar parallels. But I'll tell you, we all saw what happened with Nate Snead in Game 6. The first 5-6 outs were tremendous. And then that cardinal sin of walking the leadoff runner just comes back to bite you so many times. And then when you get a runner on, the next at bat. So you've got a runner in scoring. It changed the whole. There was just so much pressure there, and I love the factor of Nate Snead being able to bounce back and also get revenge in Arkansas.
Hey, Logan, Tennessee doing their thing in the transfer portal again, going pitching heavy. You get the kid from Kennesaw yesterday, Bo Rudy. Great name. Great baseball name right there. And we've got a couple of pitchers right now. People wondering when you're going to get some position players. The kid from Virginia visits this week. Sounds like he's a pretty big draft risk right there. What do you view as the biggest needs for Tony Vitello in the portal this offseason? And is there a name or two, guys out there that you kind of think, oh, man, this kid is going to go in the portal and everybody's going to want him, and if Tennessee could get in there and get him, he could be this year's Andrew Fisher, Paul Skeens, Billy Amick, whoever.
So none of the big fish, kind of like what you're getting at, haven't landed yet. But once we get to Omaha and then after Omaha, you're going to start to hear some really big names. And numbers-wise, in terms of volume, sheer volume, there's more guys than ever hitting the portal, as you can imagine. Gosh, I think I've been trying to keep track of it a little bit. I've been doing some draft stuff, but I'm wanting to say there are close to 4,000 entries in all of college baseball, of course. So a lot of those are going to be, the mid-majors are getting hammered with this stuff, and I can do a whole segment on that across all sports, with football, for example. But anyways, in terms of who's at the top, in terms who's in the portal now, the Henry Ford kid is huge. That would be a really nice piece to have. He is definitely number one in the portal right now. You've got some interest from him. That would be huge. I would love to have his teammate, the Becker kid, shortstop. Yeah, just the thought of having him and Manny Marin on the left side, and the Becker kid from Virginia is also he's an offensive shortstop, but he's pretty average to above average in the fielding department. I think I would love to see that. And then the relief piece. Glad you guys mentioned Bo Rudy. Don't overlook those relievers, man, that, coming from Kennesaw State, just like they pulled, Tanner Franklin from, that's kind of their MO in the transfer portal. They will kind of vet out some of these. They've had so many other instances where a guy has either not just played with a player in the previous year at the previous school, but summer ball and stuff too. So they will kind of vet, the players that they already currently have and that they trust. They will use those guys to kind of screen them and check them out. And Bo Rudy, I think, is going to be a huge bullpen piece. We've seen Tanner Franklin kind of form into that role for Tennessee from Kennesaw this season. I think we'll see the same with Rudy next season.
We call him the Cookie Man, Logan Quinton. We call him that because he is brought to you, as always, by our friends at Crumble Cookies. They've got 3 locations throughout East Tennessee to serve you this weekend, and it's always interesting whenever I go to crumblecookies.com, Logan, they ask me if I want to accept all the cookies. I'm like, yes, bring me the cookies. And then I realize they're not talking about the cookies that I want to talk about. But nevertheless, pretty solid lineup this weekend. I got my eye on the cookies and cream pie.
Yes, that's you got Russell W. Smith written all over it.
A chilled pie with a cookies and cream crust, smooth cookies and cream filling, and a finish of whipped cream and crunchy cookie crumbs. Oh, yeah, I could take one of those down right now.
Sounds like we'll have to pick up a 6-pack tomorrow afternoon on the way to the station.
Oh, thank you.
There is a watch party tomorrow as well, Logan, down at Barley's. So maybe you can. Although you might want to save the cookies until you get there. You don't want to share them with everybody. We can just hoard them fiendishly to ourselves. Logan Quinton, appreciate you, my man. Everybody go check out the Crumble Cookies. And, Logan, we will see you tomorrow, if not at Barley's, and here at the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios for another stellar edition of the Voluntary Reaction post-game extravaganza.
Absolutely, fellas. I'll see you then.
Logan Quinton doing the thing with us on another Friday afternoon. The weekend is upon us, and we are breaking it down to levels that can only be described as beyond scientific. 865-966-3435, your phone number. If you want to jump in, 966-3435. Quick timeout. Back with more after this.
The Drive. You're locked onto Fan Run Radio, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and online at fanrunradio.com.
In a world filled with deadlines and screens, sometimes we forget the simple joys of life, days filled with special moments. At Inward Half, we understand the essence of these moments. Feel the difference between our breathable fabrics and flexible apparel as you disconnect from the hustle and bustle and reconnect with what truly matters. Inward Half. Simple luxury for on and off the course.
Are you looking for a treat that will knock it out of the park at the next watch party? Just like your favorite baseball team, Crumble brings the best lineup week to week with an expanded roster that includes key lime pie, strawberry cake, or my personal favorite, Monster featuring M&M candies. Let Crumble treat you to the best cookies in the game. Download the Crumble app and start earning rewards. You can even vote monthly on what flavors you would like to see at any store of your choice. Warmer weather is here, so get to the ballpark, but don't miss the cookies.
Hall of Fame Wine and Spirits is Knoxville's new one-stop shop for legendary deals on all your favorite adult beverages. Conveniently located on Hall of Fame Drive, less than a mile from the Smokies' new downtown ballpark, Hall of Fame Wine and Spirits has everything you need for your next gathering with friends or a relaxing weekend at home. So stop by and show some love to this new local business and tell them Fan Run Radio sent you. Hall of Fame Wine and Spirits, 742 Hall of Fame Drive, online at hofknox.com.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Good afternoon. We got that heavy traffic volume out here in West Knoxville, 40 east and west, over the top of West Hills, and we're dodging nasty thunderstorms right in the heart of rush hour traffic this afternoon here in East Tennessee as it builds even more, 75 up through Anderson County. Turn your gold and silver coins into cash this weekend at Fountain City Jewelers, located in the heart of Fountain City, right next to Litton's. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Fan Run Radio, The Drive continues. Wrapping up hour number 2 of the program this afternoon, 865-966-3435. Let's read from the text box. Texter says, while Dooley was grilling away for Walker, Von Bell was deciding to go to Ohio State. Thanks a lot, Walker.
That's my bad.
If not for
guys.
your 11-year-old hunger,
I know.
we might not have sucked so bad.
They
back
were
in the
really
day.
good.
He did cost us arguably two of the greatest defensive backs that ever came from the state of Tennessee.
Did you say they were really good?
They were really good.
He's a good
to
cook.
my memory.
That tracks. I could
That
see Dooley
tracks,
being
but-
good on the grill.
I mean, I'm not saying this just – I was the same way, okay?
But, I mean, who's bad on the grill?
That's what I'm saying.
Everybody's good on the grill.
You're a big guy,
I'm not a
Walker.
good cook, but I can
was
grill
11.
you up some damn burgers.
I'm guessing you weren't a skinny kid, were you? You're like me?
Yeah.
Bigger
probably.
kid? Yeah, everything tastes good when you're 11. You're a big
Texter
kid.
says, does Bear ever call Russ to see how to get to the station? How does he not know where Gretzky played?
I just drew a blank.
Texter says Dooley and Lindsey Graham can work on their shower discipline together. Who is Lindsey Graham?
The senator from South Carolina.
Yeah.
Used to be friends with
I was
McCain.
thinking football. My
Yeah.
bad. All
Be
right,
nice.
so you've got the
Can we start, Russ?
start what?
He's got the results.
The top 25 volunteers of the past 25 years. Walker has crunched the numbers.
I have.
And we are set to unveil those coming up here in just a minute. First, though, we We're doing the All Dooley era team.
He had some serious talent.
Did I say All Dooley era team?
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
All Vitello era
Vitello
team.
era?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Freaking
We
Dooley
were
on
stopped
the mind now.
on, what, relievers?
Yeah, we stopped on relievers. I don't think we named a shortstop.
We didn't.
So somebody is blasting us for not putting Crochet on there.
Crochet was hurt and then COVID.
Yeah,
I mean,
he didn't play much here.
He did. I mean, he might win the Cy Young this year. Though.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's part of the legend of Tony Vitello.
True.
Like Vitello is adamant that the 2020 team was the best team he ever had here.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's not. Hold on. You're putting words in his mouth. All he has said is that had the look of an Omaha team. He has not said that they're the best team he ever
said, I felt like what he was saying is they could have beaten the 27.
But that's not what he said. Like, you can't feel like what you want him to have said is not what he said.
I feel like I heard him say it.
I think what he was
He
saying
might not have
was
actually
bare.
said it, but I feel
sounds
like
like
The
something
2020 Tennessee baseball team could have beaten the 27 Yankees Murderers Row team.
No,
okay.
that wasn't a thing. So you mentioned shortstop.
Yeah.
I think Maui Ahuna was the best shortstop.
Maui was really good.
Who
Vitello
played the
era.
year before we got Ahuna?
Cortland Lawson.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, for as much crap as Cortland got, he was.
I don't feel like he got crap. I feel like he
He's
was just the
bad.
guy at the end of that order.
Yeah, he was just
he was
the non-hole
very good.
guy.
Wasn't as good a hitter as the monsters in front of him. He came up with some huge hits, though.
Ahuna gets knocked for A, only having been here 1 year, and B, perceived to have been a locker room problem, which there actually was a locker room problem. But I don't know that he necessarily caused that. Tony has talked about that many times, that it was just a big misunderstanding. People thought he was getting paid a lot more than he actually was.
Yeah.
But he was a leadoff hitter and starting shortstop on a team that went to Omaha, hit well over 300 that year. He was very solid.
I mean,
What about Curley last year?
I was about to say, who's going to be in the running with him?
I'd still go Ahuna. Like, you look at the numbers, he was much better.
Cortland, was he much better than Cortland Lawson?
I think
He
so.
was a better hitter.
Yeah, I mean,
But he slumped for a while. Ahuna did. Man, he struck out a lot, I felt like. Maui did.
Struck out a little bit, but he had a very good – I think he had the highest on-base percentage on the team, and he had a lot of pop to his bat.
What about our guy who's playing this year, Gavin Keelan?
I think what hurt – yeah, go ahead. I don't know
if he didn't just move over there, like, you'd probably – if he had been there all season, might have a case, but, like, he's been there
He
like
also
the last
got
10
hurt.
games. Yes.
Like, how many of these series do you think we lost without – because whatever was going on with Keelan?
Yeah, he was injured for it felt 3 or 4 weeks. He was out.
Is that when the wheels kind of I wouldn't say the wheels came off, but they were doing the wobbly thing, like if your lug nuts are loose when Keelan got hurt?
It was I want to say it came like after he came back, when we were messing around with the lineup and stuff, is when we started not being able to close out a series. But if you look at his numbers, he's got a 363 average in 50 games started.
But we're solid on everybody else. We're going Pavloni.
Yep.
Burke.
Yep.
Semo.
Yep. Lipscomb at third.
Lipscomb at third. I think Russ is
Dreiling
good.
in left, Gilbert in center, and Beck in right.
Yeah.
I'm still not convinced.
I'm still sort of 50-50 with Tiers.
Give me a side-by-side. Can you find
Yeah.
Beck's numbers in 2022 and
Quavoris.
Tiers' numbers yesterday? What do you call him?
Quavoris. Quavoris.
865-966-3435, your number to get on the show this afternoon, 966-3435, if you want to chime in here on a Friday afternoon edition of the show, rapidly steamrolling towards the 5 p.m. hour, rapidly steamrolling towards the Battle of Baum Walker, a reckoning in Arkansastan. Can Tennessee do it for the third year in a row and the fourth year in 5 years? Another trip to Omaha and the College World Series. It's never been this hard.
No.
We've never had to go through a gauntlet like this.
I think we had a tough regional. That Wake team was tough. Cincinnati was good this year. Miami, Ohio, not so much. But then to send us to Fayetteville,
Just rubber the green. It's tough. It's what we got to do.
What do you think about it? Would love to hear from you this afternoon as we get set for a big third and final hour. So you are going to – are we going to go 25-1 on these rankings?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There are a couple of ties.
Yeah, we got some ties in there that we can dispute and, figure out where each person goes. But I do have it all on here with some honorable mentions. Bear came up with the idea that we should, have a point system where each of us made our own rankings last night. We submitted them to each other. First place gets 25 points. Second place gets 24. Third gets 23, and down the order. We all submitted them. I added them all up this afternoon, and I have the composite one for us right now.
Can we
want
25, 24, Russ?
Let's do. You want to do some honorable mentions before we go to the third?
Yeah. Like, who missed the cut?
So there were four guys. Four guys that got cut.
Votes, and
who got votes, didn't make it.
Okay. I'm gonna be so mad if they're all mine.
3 guys were tied at 7 points.
Outraged.
Travis Henry, Chase Dolander.
Chase didn't make it?
Nope.
Wow.
Drew Gilbert.
Whoa.
And Darnell Wright.
Now wait just a damn minute. Darnell Wright didn't?
No.
First-round draft pick, starting right tackle for the Chicago Bears.
No.
5-star.
I didn't vote for Darnell.
I didn't vote for Darnell.
Who was the first one?
Travis Henry.
Jeez.
No, who's the second one?
Chase Dolander.
Yeah, I didn't have Doe or Darnell on mine.
I had Darnell pretty high, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was maybe something else talking at that point last night. I was getting bleary-eyed. I seriously, I did research. When have you ever known me to take something on the show serious enough to where I'm doing research, Russ?
Never.
Look, I've got the voting here. If we want to go through.
All right, give me 25 through 20.
You want to do 25 through 20 right now?
Yeah.
All right. At 25, with 18 points, is Gerard Mayo.
And I think I had him 25th on mine.
I had him pretty high on mine. Super Bowl champion. If you look at his college stats and his pro stats, incredible.
Yep. You had him 25. Jason and I didn't have him. And Bear, where did you put him again? I believe you put him at 9th.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You ranking him so high is the only reason he got in. Like, if you'd ranked him 2 spots lower, he probably would have missed the cut.
First-round draft pick, Super Bowl champion.
And Dolander would have been in there.
And also Russ's off-the-field stuff. He's always been a great ambassador for the university.
Yeah. The same thing happened with the next guy. At number 24, we have Jordan Crooks with 20 points.
Where'd you put him at? None of us had him on
the
there.
opposite. Are you the only one that had him on your list?
Yeah.
And you had him at 5?
6.
Have you recovered yet from my duplicity yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay.
You single-handedly got a damn swimmer on this list.
From the
Swimmer
Cayman
with 4
Islands.
national championships. And is the fastest freestyler in the world.
Jordan
right now.
Crooks.
This is the math. This was the system
This
we
is
decided
my fault.
on. This is the system we
If
decided
we could have shouted him down yesterday.
Yeah,
and put him off the
you
list.
let it
No, you wouldn't.
grow.
You wouldn't have convinced
You
me.
let it go for so long.
You wouldn't have
He
convinced
wouldn't have
me.
been on. We would have vetoed it yesterday.
Crooks is 24.
Yeah.
All right, who's 23?
23 is Dante Stallworth.
Okay. First-round draft pick,
Yep.
had a 10-plus year NFL career, great player here. Did kill a guy, but now is kind of a
in his defense,
TV guy. Like, he's a political guy. He's had an interesting off-the-field life.
That dude was walking across an overpass on an interstate.
Very,
in the
very
middle of the night.
dangerous.
All right. At 22, Albert Hainsworth with 21 points.
Well-deserved.
And at 21, last one we'll do this hour, Josh Dobbs with 32 points.
That's a little low.
I feel like.
Did anybody not have Dobbs on their list?
No, I had him on mine.
Everybody
I
had
him on
Dobbs.
mine.
You guys just had him really low. I think
No.
I had him top 15.
I think that I accused Walker of sandbagging him because you're mad that he didn't go to Arizona State and he flipped to Tennessee, my friend.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking about
That's
Arizona
what I
State
think it
back
was.
when I was 14 years old. Yeah,
Stay
that's how I
with
felt.
us. The drive continues. Hour number 3, just around the corner. It's Fan Run Radio. Back with more after this.
The Drive.
It's back. back. You asked for it and you got it. All You Can Eat Wednesdays is back with your Knoxville Smokies. The most delicious Wednesday dinner. All you can eat pulled pork, hot dogs, Bush's baked beans, Uncle Ray's potato chips, popcorn, Pepsi products, and more. Is anyone else getting hungry? But we aren't finished yet. This week we've also got Thirsty Thursday, Princess Night and fireworks on Friday, 90s Night and the Toy Story game, and fireworks on Saturday. And our Sunday day game is a huge mascot party. Get your tickets now at SmokiesBaseball.com.
When it's past high noon, it's time for a vodka soda made with a vodka you've actually heard of. I'm talking White Claw vodka soda made with White Claw premium vodka. JB Smooth only drinks vodka soda made with the world's smoothest vodka.
And you can too. Pick you up a bottle of the triple wave filtered vodka that's been distilled 5 times. White Claw premium vodka comes in 4 flavors: black cherry, mango, pineapple, and just vodka. You haven't had vodka like this. No one has. White Claw premium vodka. Please drink responsibly.
This is Coach Josh Heupel. In football and life, you need a solid defense to protect what matters most. That's where Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee comes in. Score peace of mind with Farm Bureau Insurance, the official insurance of the Vols. They're your line of defense. FBITN.com.
This is Baseball VFL Cody Brown. Farm Bureau Insurance is the official insurance of the Tennessee Vols. I'm here to be that line of defense for all your insurance needs. Give me a call at 865-992-3871 and go Vols.
Rickard Ridge Barbecue, located in beautiful Cove Lake State Park. Rickard Ridge is home of the best ribs in the Volunteer State. Smoked daily by Pitmaster Mark Rickard. The barbecue at Rickard Ridge is mouth-watering, fall-off-the-bone delicious. Take the scenic drive up I-75 to exit 134. For directions and to look at the rest of the menu, visit Rickard Ridge online at rickardridgebbq.com.
Blackford Veterinary Surgery Referral specializes in surgeries not regularly performed by your pet's general veterinarian. They're currently accepting referrals from vets all across the country. With their newly renovated state-of-the-art surgery center and highly trained staff, clients can rely on professional and thorough care. If your vet says that your pet needs surgery or rehab, ask for a referral to Blackford Vet and let them get your best friend back on its feet. Located conveniently in West Knoxville. For more information, visit blackfordvetsurgery.com.
Have you ever found yourself wishing your clothes looked brand new again? Whether it's your favorite suit, that little black dress, or your comfy winter coat, Crown Cleaners can make it happen. From stubborn stains to delicate fabrics, the expert team at Crown Cleaners uses the latest cleaning technology to ensure your clothes come back looking and feeling fresh. Visit one of their 2 area locations, Kingston Pike on Bearden Hill or South North Shore Drive near Dunkin' Donuts. Online at crowncleaners.com. Crown Cleaners, a tradition of excellence.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips that you plan in advance, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends for which you make a group chat 3 months before so that nobody or anything is missing? Or your daughter's first birthday party. You planned it with such dedication that instead of the first, it felt like our 15s. The same way you plan each detail for those moments. Start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Good afternoon, T-Dots. Had their hands full out here assisting with a couple of earlier wrecks. Here's what we're seeing. Heavy traffic on the interstate out here in West Knoxville. I-40 east and west around. Pillsbury Parkway, heavier than it was through downtown. 40 west to 17th Street. It continues to build on 75, trying to push up into Anderson throughout Campbell County. AMCO Transmission, serving East Tennessee since 1962. Call AMCO if you need their help, 832-8686. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
It's time for The Drive's Top 5 at 5.
Quitting time on your Friday, 5:01 here on Fan Run Radio. Before we do the Top 5 at 5, because I'll forget about this.
Yeah, we got it. Let's go ahead and
Okay.
get it. Let's take care of it.
Young
take
Walker
care
of this
Smith, best friends, maybe not best friends, your buddies, childhood acquaintances.
Good enough
with
to go to
Derek
dinner.
Dooley's
Yeah.
son. 11-year-old Walker Smith hanging out with his buddy, Little Dooley. Derek Dooley's cooking you up some burgers.
Yeah.
He makes burgers and baked potatoes?
To my knowledge, that's what it was. Now, I will say it.
What kind of combo is that?
It could
Psychopath.
have been fries, but I just cannot remember. And when I think about it, I think it's a baked potato.
I don't.
Like in the aluminum foil on the grill?
It's just what I remember.
Because now, like, I've done that before, but never with burgers.
I don't hate the idea of a baked potato with a burger. I've just never had it. I've never heard of that. That seems like
that's a lot of starch.
Well, you've got the burger with your hand, and then like the burgers and fries, you're eating it all with your hands, right? That's part of the allure.
Yeah, you
now
shove
you're
them on the burger.
You're introducing a fork and knife into the cheeseburger equation. That seems just fundamentally wrong.
In my opinion, when it comes to beef, you do fries with a burger, baked potato with a steak.
That's always been my thought.
Steak
but-
or chicken
Yeah.
or even
Yeah.
like
I'm
shrimp
I
or
just meant
any other.
beef-wise,
But I don't see it when you're pairing it with any type of grilled sandwich.
That
A
sounds
bun.
like a very Dooley menu choice. You gotta have the baked potato with the burger, all right? They
Make
just go
butter
together.
and sour cream.
Look,
none of us are even.
My
close to
memory
his
could
voice.
be faulty, but that's just the first thing that came to mind that I remembered about it.
Jace Brown's got the top 5 at 5. Hit it.
Thank you. At number 1, Game 1 of the Fayetteville Super Regional gets kicked off tomorrow. The number 3 Arkansas Razorbacks host the number 14 Tennessee Vols at 5 o'clock on ESPN. And currently, betting-wise, the Hogs are at minus 145 to win the regional, and the Vols are at plus 115.
I think we need to. We haven't done this in a little bit. Let's go around the room and do a confidence level for the
Ooh.
series.
Oh, for the series.
Yeah.
One being
I already told you mine.
super confident.
You said 40, right?
Or one
No.
being
One being absolutely no chance.
We're
Oh, we're
doing.
going 1 to
Might
10.
not even go down there. 10 being, it's not even a question.
We're
for
we're,
anybody.
we're going to be in Omaha.
Yeah.
I'll go 3.
I'm at a very mediocre 5.
That's where I am too. I'm at a 5.
Soft 5.
Yeah, I call it a 5.
Weak 5. Yeah. Bear?
I'm ashamed.
What? You about to say
2?
A 1?
No, hell with it. I'm going to live in my hopes and not my fears. I'm going with an 8.
Love it.
Oh,
Tony
I love it.
Martello is a man.
I love
If
it.
you want to be the man, you got to beat the man, Dave Van Halen. You got to beat him when the money's on the table. I'm going with Tony Vitello and the Vols.
I love it.
In 2.
I appreciate
2.
the confidence.
What could possibly
What
go
could
wrong?
possibly go wrong?
At number 2, Game 2 in the Stanley Cup final between the Edmonton Oilers and the Florida Panthers is tonight. The Oilers lead the series 1-0 and look to get revenge after the Panthers beat them in the Cup final last year. Puck drop is at 8 p.m. on TNT.
All right, Bear, name an Oiler.
Wayne Gretzky.
He just told you.
I told you
This
one
was
earlier.
30 minutes ago. He's the best player in the game. It just went right through your ears, just in one
I
side,
didn't
out the
think
other.
that.
Just-
I mean, did you tell me I was going to be having a quiz on this stuff?
I mean, you should know that Russell's going to ask you that question.
I don't like you a lot of the time.
Just
I really. I mean,
you know what he does. You know what he does.
yeah, but you don't have to point it out to me on air.
David
A little support.
McConnor.
Yeah.
Is it?
No, it's Connor McDavid.
Connor McDavid. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
At number 3, Oregon wide receiver Evan Stewart has suffered a knee injury that is expected to impact his availability in the 2025 season. Sources confirmed to Pete Thamel today. The injury, which occurred earlier this week, is potentially season-ending, and Stewart is set to undergo further evaluations, according to the sources. It is unclear how the injury occurred. Stewart, who began his career at Texas A&M before transferring to Oregon ahead of the 2024 season, caught 48 passes for 613 yards and 5 touchdowns last year.
Was he a member of that last class of Jimbo's, the best class money
the mass
could buy?
exodus. Yeah.
Yeah, you hate to see it, man. I'm
terrible.
pretty sure his parents went to Tennessee. I remember, we thought we were going to get him coming out of
Money whipped us.
Texas, out of high school, and Yeah, he ends up going to A&M, and I think we at least
played
put
him?
out feelers this past off season when he originally went in the portal, and he didn't come here. But yeah, hopefully it's not ACL. Hopefully he can come back.
At number 4, former Atlanta Braves closer Craig Kimbrell is set to rejoin the club.
It's gonna fix everything,
where
Chase.
where it all began after the 9-time All-Star was recalled to the Braves from his AAA Gwinnett. Kimbrell, who's 37 now, spent his first 5 Major League seasons with the Braves, collecting 186 saves while leading the National League in the category for 4 of those seasons. The move to bolster the bullpen with Kimbrell comes one day after the Braves allowed 7 runs in the 9th of an 11-10 loss to the Arizona Diamondbacks.
So 37-year-old Craig Kimbrell with his 93-mile-per-hour heater is just what the Braves need right now.
Some dude that you could have conceivably overlapped with in school. A 37-year-old, arm worn out from playing baseball. He's going to be your savior?
I wouldn't count on it.
Would he have changed what happened the other night?
I mean, he wouldn't have done any worse. He wouldn't have given up 7 runs in the 9th inning.
Yeah, he might have.
Could have manufactured 3 outs, I think. I don't know that. I tell myself that. Braves are a mess. Braves are a dumpster fire.
Yeah, but you recently won a World Series, so that takes the sting out of it, doesn't it?
It beats all of us.
It kind of makes it worse in a way because they have a top 10 payroll in baseball. There's no way they should be this bad. That was the first time they've blown a 7-run lead since 1973.
It was a long time ago.
It was 3 years old.
An historic meltdown yesterday at Truist.
And at number 5, before the jury in Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking trial returned from a lunch break on Thursday, the hip-hop mogul turned to face courtroom sketch artist Jane Rosenberg in the first row to make an unusual request. Quote, "Soften me up a bit. You're making me look like a koala bear," Combs said, according to Rosenberg. Combs has pleaded not guilty to 5 criminal counts of racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking during the 4 weeks of his trial. He has worn sweaters and sported graying hair and a goatee. Rosenberg, a well-known sketch artist, has been documenting the proceedings for Reuters in Manhattan federal court, where photography and video recording are prohibited. Combs is not the first high-profile defendant to remark on Rosenberg's depictions of them. Earlier this year, Rudy Giuliani told Rosenberg she had made him look like his dog. The former New York City mayor was in court in a civil case stemming from his false accusations that 2 election workers helped steal the 2020 U.S. presidential election.
Yeah, it's 2025. Why are we still doing the courtroom drawings?
I kind of like them.
Just allow photographers to go in there and take pictures. This seems like a giant waste of time and money.
Remember when Junior Uncle June got mad?
Yeah.
Was that sketch artist was drawing him?
And Tom Brady had a really bad one too, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely like it.
They made him look like a devil or something.
Surprise me if like somebody from the Indianapolis Colts had paid that lady to do Brady's, but yeah, I don't know. I heard they were. I saw a report where the judge warned him that if he said anything else to the jury, that he could watch his trial via closed circuit TV. She's going to throw him out of the courtroom. Interacting with jurors. You think he's going to get convicted?
I'm looking at some of these. Look, is this one real? A woman escorted out of the courtroom during the Diddy trial. Look at that. Why not just have a picture? This looks like some kind of Picasso work. It's all shaded and
Well,
actually, that's if that's hers. I mean, she's the best. That's a pretty good depiction.
I don't know if it's like for official records, and sorry if they don't want photos, but they allow video cameras in these courtrooms all the time.
In certain states and certain courts.
Yeah.
Like that crazy Karen Reed trial at Massachusetts, that's on TV.
Yeah.
I've been following that closely.
I keep seeing stuff about that, but it's almost like the Murdaugh case in South Carolina, where it just seems like such an intimidating volume of information to go through that every time I'm like, I don't have time for this today.
I mean, I got sucked into it there was an article in like Rolling Stone.
Sum it up for me in 3 sentences. What is she on trial for?
Allegedly running over her Boston cop boyfriend in a blizzard, and there's reasonable doubt, and the longer this goes on, the weirder it gets. Like when you first hear it, there's a conspiracy to convict her.
You think she murdered him, but you can't be sure. It's a really hard case to prove.
Right. That's initially just starting off, and then you hear like all the bizarre stuff, and it starts taking on like a Departed, like corrupt Boston cop kind of flavor to it.
Cool. I mean, not cool
to the point where
sound like a cool case.
I don't think she did it.
It's pretty. There is a lot of info with it, and it's
and
pretty,
like
pretty
every bit of video evidence that would have completely exonerated her went into a black hole after the Massachusetts State Police got a hold of it.
There is nothing like a good trial.
They've disappeared evidence.
Mm-hmm.
It involves a judge. I don't know. It's very like all the connections between the Commonwealth, the cops, and even the judge. It's a very incestuous situation.
All right. Thank you, Jace. That is the Top 5 at 5. It's brought to you by our friends over at Barley's. Again, Fan Run Radio listener watch party tomorrow at 5 p.m. Barley's Pizzeria and Tap Room in the Old City. Tyler Whetstone of Knoxville News Sentinel, knoxnews.com, has an article that basically says Zakai Ziegler has been told he's got a spot on next year's basketball team if he's eligible to play. No big surprise there.
No.
I just don't think he's going to get it.
You don't think so?
No, the DOJ came out and put out their statement this week that it was the first time that they're basically parroting what the NCAA's talking points are.
Chase Burns is starting tonight at Covenant Health Park for the Chattanooga Lookouts against the Smokies.
Oh, yeah. He is one of the best pitching prospects the Reds have ever had. He's
5-1 on the year with a 1.54 ERA. He's got 44 strikeouts in 35 innings.
I hope he gives up 10 in the first inning.
That's not very nice. This is a former Vol we're talking about here.
Do you think that I'm sorry, it's Friday and the Amtrak of thought has temporarily derailed. Give me a minute.
Happens.
I'll get it back. Do you think that Burns should be a reliever, should be a closer?
No, he should be a starter. He's got that like elite fastball and slider that all of these teams are looking for.
But aren't two-pitch guys
normally
more suited to relief? I feel like the best starters all have 4 or 5 pitch mixes.
Well, we have one guy right now who is a two-pitch guy who's one of the best pitchers in the league, and Hunter Green with the elite
I just
fastball.
feel like the two-pitch guys, once they go through the order like 2 or 3 times and they see your 2 pitches, they're going to rock you.
Well, that's just baseball now. Guys don't go 7 or 8 innings anymore. The only guys that do that are Paul Skeens and Tarek Skubal. I mean, your guy before he got hurt was a 2-pitch guy, and Spencer Strider.
I want Skeens to be a Yankees about it.
It's true. Straight. I just seeing Doyle come out of the bullpen.
It was electric.
He looks like a closer at the next level, and he's struggled.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say struggled. He hasn't struggled. He's a semifinalist for the Golden Spikes Award. But if there's a knock on him, and the one time that he did get lit up, remember Arkansas guys saying, yeah, we're just sitting on fastball. We are just waiting for that fastball, and that's how we're going to attack him. And he's made the adjustment, to his credit, his last couple of starts, but his other stuff isn't as good as his fastball. And so that'll be the challenge for him. It's a challenge for all these guys come up through high school. I can throw in the 90s. I'm just going to overpower guys.
Yeah.
They can't hit it. And that even works in college for the most part.
Well, yeah,
then you get to professional baseball, and it's like Maddox said, you have to be able to locate your pitches and change speeds.
100%. And that's something that all of these young guys that come up had to figure out. And Paul Skeens was an alien and knew how to do and figured it out really early. I mean, Spencer Strider, his fastball was just so dominant that he was able to get by. But, even without the injury, he was going to have to figure out his secondary pitches and develop a slider and a changeup. I watched it with Hunter Green, his whole thing was he can throw 98 to 100, but he needs to be able to locate his slider and his changeup to have stuff to work off of it.
Has Green stayed healthy, or has he had?
He's had some precautionary stuff that, like, he's had one 10-day IL stint, and he's having another one right now. Just precautionary stuff.
It's all the velo guys, and we're seeing this with Ben Joyce, where it's just I can throw it through a brick wall. It seems like they all have an issue, and if they haven't had an issue yet, you see what, going back to Strasburg, what they did with him and what they're doing with Paul Skeens now.
Yeah,
where it's like you're on a hard limit, you're on pitch counts, you're on inning counts. They shut those guys down towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
Now, maybe they wouldn't do that if they're in the playoffs, but the Nationals famously did with Strasburg.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
They just –
you're not pitching more than 100, like 80 to 90 pitches, and that's all starters now in general. Like, guys don't go 7 or 8 innings. It just doesn't happen.
I wonder how many go ahead. Sorry, man.
But you have to develop that skill. You have to be more than – I just think if you're going to be good, have a good career, you have to be able to change speeds and have
100%.
If you are just a fastball guy, I'm sure there's an example. A baseball guy can tell of maybe Aroldis Chapman has been fastball guy, and I don't think he's had a big arm injury to my knowledge.
He's an anomaly. Like, he's thrown like he's peaked out at 105, and the only Nolan Ryan, but like these guys are anomalies. The only thing Aroldis Chapman has had is when his tattoo got infected.
Yes,
you got to be careful for that,
tattoo.
man.
What do you think? I'm just out of curiosity. Like, I wonder, like, Matt, you were talking about Maddox, and you got to put he was the best at placing the ball. I wonder what the fastest pitch he ever threw in a major league game.
Maddox?
Well, I mean, we talk about Chapman being an anomaly. I think you could say that Maddox is an anomaly too, and which is weird because you would think that
but I respect
would be
Maddox more.
easier to attain than just sheer velocity, but nobody's done it.
I don't know. I probably put Maddox if he's not number one. He's definitely in the conversation.
Well, sure, but I mean, if the conversation is not. I'm not going to say he didn't have great stuff because we've all seen the videos of his sinker sliding each way, and that but. He, again, was not upper 90s guy. He was his changeup was his weapon. His sinker was his weapon. Movement, location, all that stuff. You would think that would be easier to learn, and yet very few are able to do it. Stay with us. We got the rest of the top 25 volunteers of the last 25 years, the first quarter of the century. Hard to believe. It's almost in the books, but we'll go through the list. We already gave you 21 through 25. 15 through 20 coming up next right here on Fan Run Radio.
The Drive. The flagship station for Tennessee fans. This is Fan Run Radio.
Hey Knoxville, Surfside iced tea and vodka made with real brewed tea is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar with no bubbles and no troubles. That's right, zero carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. Headed to a game day or party at a friend's house? Bring an iced tea or lemonade variety pack from Surfside or try their green tea and new raspberry tea vodka. Find the can with the sunset stripes this season. Surfside iced tea and vodka. Sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Surfside iced tea and vodka. Sunshine in a can. Must be 21 or older. Enjoy responsibly.
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Make sure you use the promo code FANRUN to take advantage of their welcome bonus and so they know that we sent you. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-8899-789. Must be 21 or older and located in Tennessee to bet.
Citizens
We make it easy to save money. Get access to thousands of discounts on shopping, dining, and travel with the C&B Plus Perks account. It's a powerful new way to save money with roadside assistance, cell phone protection, identity theft protection, and credit monitoring. Banking at C&B has its perks. Call or stop by a branch for more details.
Citizens National Bank. Banking never felt so good.
Member FDIC.
Ready to launch your career? Axle Logistics is a leading third-party logistics company where excellence is an energy. With an award-winning culture, Axle proves that positive outcomes come from a positive environment and a work hard, play hard mentality. At Axle, the drive for success is infectious. And with an uncapped commission structure, hard work isn't just noticed, it's rewarded. For those with big goals and even bigger dreams, Axle Logistics is the place to start your career.
Your smile is one of the first things people notice, so why not make it unforgettable? At Knoxville Smiles, we believe everyone deserves a smile they're proud to show off, whether it's time for a routine checkup, a professional cleaning, or something more advanced like teeth whitening or veneers. Our expert team is here for you. We use the latest technology to provide the highest quality care in a comfortable, friendly environment. At Knoxville Smiles, we don't just treat teeth, we treat people. Our goal is to make every visit as stress-free and pleasant as possible. So if you've been putting off your next dental visit, now's the perfect time to take the next step towards a healthier, brighter smile. Give us a call at 865-539-1776 to schedule your appointment. That's 865-539-1776. Or visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Good afternoon. It remains heavy on the interstate out here in West Knoxville, 40 East and West. Anywhere you're traveling between Paper Mill, Pillsbury Parkway, stop and go on Kingston Pike, especially there at Mabry Hood. It's gotten really heavy to the north, 275, continuing 75 to the north, up into Anderson throughout Campbell County, dodging some nasty thunderstorms. Hey, Fountain City Jewelers, your diamond engagement ring headquarters this bridal season. Stop by and see them this weekend at Fountain City Jewelers in North Knoxville. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
All right, we have crunched the numbers. Run through 25 to 21 for us again real quick, Walker.
25 was Gerard Mayo, 24 Jordan Crooks, 23 Dante Stallworth, 22 Albert Hainsworth, and 21 Josh Dobbs.
The top 25 volunteers of the past 25 years is voted by your fearless hosts here on The Drive. We have crunched the numbers, and it is time for the next five, Walker. Who's at number 20?
So we have a tie at 20 and 19 with 34 points each. It's Luke Hoshaver and John Henderson.
I'm a little disappointed that Luke was this far down on your all's list. I had him top 10, I think, didn't I?
I don't
Number
think
8, maybe.
I had him pretty high.
He's World Series champion.
Yeah, you had him at 7.
I did.
Yeah, you had him at 7. Russell had Hoshaver.
If we settle these ties, somebody's going to get bumped out of the back, right?
No, we would just have one guy at 19 and one guy at 20.
Oh, I see. I got you. All right. I think Big John's got to be above Hoshaver.
I think I'd go. I think I'd go
no,
too.
I don't think so at all. I cannot believe Hoshaver's
What's okay? State your case.
I mean, you look at his look up his stats. He's a lot more decorated.
Whoa.
He's got to look. Compare their stats.
John Henderson is the only Outland Trophy winner we've had since, I think, DeLong in 1965.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I had a hard time because your guidelines were kind of nebulous at best in some of this. I don't know. I weighted a World Series championship higher than the Outland Trophy.
Well, it's an individual award versus a team award. Hoshaver, World Series champion.
Henderson is a 2-time Pro Bowler. Both first-round draft picks on their respective
Hoshaver's
sports.
career record is 46-65. He has a 4.98 ERA. Not ripping on the guy, but
okay, fine. Let's not get bogged down.
All right, Henderson 19, Hoshaver 20th.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Number 18 with 35 points, Dalton Connects. Number 17, Casey Clausen with 42 points.
I like it.
And then we have another tie at 15 and 16.
Okay.
Trey Smith and Zakai Ziegler.
Whoa, that is tough. That is tough.
Yeah, because they're both. Zakai's kind of like some of the Vitello baseball players in that we've only got his college career to go on right now.
And he might be benefiting from a bit of recency bias.
Yeah. But he was a 4-time All-SEC defensive player.
And there's a legitimate conversation about whether or not his name belongs in the rafters.
Yeah.
It probably does.
2-time SEC Player of the Year, All-Conference player.
Heart and soul,
great story.
Back-to-back Elite Eight.
Trey Smith was a 5-star. Like, he was who we thought he was going to be.
5-star.
Yeah, I mean, he would have been here for, the thing that got Trey as far as his UT stuff was just he had the blood clots.
Had the blood clot.
He's multiple Super Bowl champion now.
I could just about flip a coin on this one. I
Yeah.
think I give a slight edge to ZZ.
I think I had Trey Smith a little bit higher than ZZ on my list.
I think I did too, simply based on he's won several Super Bowls now.
Yeah, just
Did I have Trey Smith on my list?
No, you did not.
Russell.
Wow.
Somebody's got to go. I mean, I guess that shows you where I'm at. All in favor of Trey Smith over Ziegler? All in favor of that's 2. Bear and Jace. All right.
Let's just leave them tied. Go on.
All right, we can leave them tied. So they'd be tied 15. At 14 is Chris Burke with 48 points.
That's where I had him directly on mine.
I think I had him maybe 1 or 2 spots higher. The thing that really got me when I started looking at the thing that just kept jumping out at me, and he walked it off to win a pennant and send his team to the World Series. Now, Buck Showalter is a complete and utter and didn't have him on the active roster for the World. That to me, I put that up there, honest to God. Now, Russ may flip out at me, but as far as anger over something that was done to a former Tennessee guy, I kind of put it up there with Manning getting snubbed for the high school.
Did he have a walk-off in?
It's Game 5 of the NLDS.
It's a division series. It wasn't to go to the World Series.
Yeah.
You beat the Braves, right?
Yeah. Maybe it was to go to the NLCS.
I remember I was at an important dinner with my wife at Fleming's that night, and I could not get out of it. But I could see it, and I had to just pretend like it wasn't breaking my heart.
Just mortal. I mean, it's Burke, who you love, and your Braves that he's crushing.
Yeah, that was a rough night.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go on. We have another tie at 12 and 13.
Okay.
Christian Coleman and Hendon Hooker, both on 49 points.
I give it to Hendon Hooker. I didn't have Christian Coleman in mine.
Oh, that's hard.
One guy we love, to death, as reviving Tennessee football, and another guy just has a lot of accolades.
He does
at the college and Olympic level.
He doesn't at the Olympic level.
He has 2 medals. I know you don't count them because they're not gold.
They're not gold,
but
man.
they're Olympic medals. That's really hard to do.
He's a United States sprinter. I don't know about you, but I judge success based on whether or not you win the gold in sprinting.
For me in this sport, and I know it's similar to the swimming debate we had yesterday, but I put a lot of emphasis on being the fastest man in the world, and he held that title for a year or 2.
It wasn't as long as Gatlin. I don't think he was as
I mean,
jacked up
if
on
you
the
have it
juice.
for a year,
it's good.
To me, you are the 100-meter champion is the fastest man in the world. That's just different, man. That's different from being the biggest weightlifter in the world or the 400, the marathon distance runner or something.
Right.
Like the guy who can run faster than anybody else. Ran a 9.76 100-meter dash in 2019.
What's Bolt's record?
And he does have
9.58.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He has gold medals at this doesn't list his Olympic medals, but gold medal at the World Championships in 2019.
Yeah, he doesn't. I don't think he didn't win gold in the Olympics.
No, but he has 2 medals.
What are they? Bronze.
Let me go look. Sorry.
I mean, you keep coming at me with medals. I mean,
well, what's Hooker like this is, for Hooker, and I love Hendon Hooker. I said yesterday he would be on my list, and we had a discussion about the quarterbacks. Man, I can't move him down, but I mean, if your argument against Coleman is what you define as winning,
there's a difference. The X factor with Hendon Hooker is he was a quarterback here that like Jesus rose Lazarus from the dead, Russ. Hendon Hooker put his beautiful hands on Tennessee football and went, rise. And he was a big part of the resurrection of our football program. This thing we love so much.
Well, I'm going to stay true to my list. I have Hooker 7th and Coleman 12th, so I'm going to go with Hendo.
I'm going Hendo.
Jace?
I'll switch up mine. I'm thinking about. I think Hendon.
You're switching. You can't switch. Your vote is your vote.
Well, you know,
who did
Captain
you have
Olympics
higher?
Is going to have him
I had
higher.
Coleman higher.
And you're switching that?
Well, I also had Clausen above Hendon, but that was
just leave him tied.
Been thrown out.
No, we can't leave him. This is sports, man. There's no tie.
We
We got to
already
fix.
tied.
We got to fix the other one too, man.
Okay,
we got to
we'll fix
decide. We'll decide how we decide, but we got to decide. We're not leaving them tied. Go ahead.
All right. Number 11 with 50 points, Derek Barnett.
Okay.
Yep. Now we're into the top 10.
I think I had him a little bit higher.
Should
we stop it there? We're going all the way to number 1 in this segment? We're going to.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, we
we
don't
wanna
have to do it in this segment. We got to. Is
we
that
need
the
to
end of the ties?
Yes, that's the end of the ties.
Okay.
We need to fix these ties before we go to the top 10.
Okay. Let's do that.
But Barnett was at 11.
Barnett was 11.
How do we
50.
fix the tie? Should we bring in some of our knuckleheads?
Let's bring in go pick someone pick one random person from outside to break up the Trey and Zakai because we're split on that.
Wait a minute. Who else could we ask? I don't want to get some rando. I want somebody affiliated with the Drive.
We can go get someone that's out in the room real quick.
On. Affiliated with the
I don't
Drive.
trust them.
I know somebody that's listening right now. Let me see if they've got time to actually.
Who?
Is your old producer?
Who?
Producer stars Chance Collins.
I love Chance. He's not getting the deciding vote. No.
You said somebody that was affiliated with us. Who are you talking
We have a
about?
lot of people affiliated.
Mark Nagy.
Ooh, this is the Council of Elders.
Yeah.
How about
this?
I have
I'll send out a text. We'll text Gabriel, Nagy.
I have an idea.
Okay.
We do a quick flash poll on Twitter between our ties, and we just give it 20 minutes till we need to decide it.
No, that's beautiful. I like it. Yeah, let the audience decide. All right.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
Cool. So that would be between Trey Smith and Zakai for one, and then between Christian Coleman and Hendon Hooker for the other.
You want to go 10-5 before the
Yeah,
break?
give me 10-6, and then we'll do the top 5
All right.
and get on out of here.
All right. At number 10, Carol Lawson with 51 points.
Okay.
Number 9, Monica Abbott with 54.
That's
Shout out to the ladies.
Way too high for her, I think.
I had her number 8.
I had her around there too. Yeah.
I had her where? Like 20.
You had her 25.
Yeah.
Monica Abbott, 25th, last on the list.
I mean, she didn't.
I think the greatest player in softball history.
Yeah.
And she's. I'm telling you right now.
That's a good point. I mean, after all,
no way in hell she should be in front of Carol Lawson. The problem with Lawson, Catchings, and Parker are arguably you could put those 1, 2, and 3 if you just go strictly off accolades. They're by far the most decorated athletes at Tennessee in the past 25 years.
Well, if we want to do accolades, Jordan Crooks would be higher on the list, but we can digress from that.
Just keep.
You're just going to hang on there.
Quit editorializing.
Number 8
out on that hill.
Yeah.
Justin Gatlin at number 8 with 58 points.
Pretty solid.
At number 7, this was pretty interesting how close these two were. 7 is Chris Lofton with 62.
Wow.
And 6 is Grant Williams with 64.
I
had Grant 6th.
I had Grant a lot lower probably than you guys.
I had Grant 9.
Where did I have him?
You had Grant at 14.
Yeah.
Right behind Lofton at 13.
I don't understand that. I mean, you talk about winning and championships are so big. I mean, like that.
I mean, if we have time, you can go down
SEC
my.
Player
I
of the
can
Year,
give you solid
SEC champion,
solid reasoning behind my top 10. I think I've got the best top 10, the most accurate out of everybody. I at one point had Christian Moore at number 1.
I mean, you could make it. I got him at number 3. You can make that argument. Where are we at?
That was number 6, so we have our top 5.
Okay, now who was 6 and 6? How did we have that?
6 was Grant, 7 was Lofton, 8 was Gatlin, 9 was Monica Abbott, 10 was Kara Lawson.
That is ridiculous. You got Kara Lawson behind Monica Abbott. It's absolutely ridiculous.
It's not him. It's us.
That's the composite.
That's,
it's
you
not
guys are
that's
y'all
the
friend,
composite.
you're idiots.
Hey, this is your system. You wanted us to use.
You had Monica Abbott 25th, bro.
She's not. I don't know.
You tell me you could give me all this great reasoning, and then it's she's not. I don't know.
She didn't. She didn't win a championship at any level.
Yeah, but she's the best pitcher to ever play softball.
Is she?
The sport of college softball. Maybe player.
I don't know.
Man, she's 39 years old. We share a birthday, me and Monica.
There you go.
Is your birthday coming up soon?
Eventually, yeah. She's the NCAA D1 leader in wins, strikeouts, shutouts, and innings.
Maybe she didn't deserve to be 25th.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I was stunned because you all heard me yesterday talking about the Lady Vols. And then I actually did a little bit of research. I was like, whoa.
She's a 3-time world champion, 2-time Olympic silver medalist, 5-time NPF champion, 6-time JSL champion.
What the hell's that?
Softball.
Softball league.
Championships, yeah.
Professional softball.
I've never heard of that.
NCAA record holder in strikes, NCAA record holder in wins, 2-time recipient of the Salinas Californian Athlete of the Year Award.
All right, fine.
No, you don't have to change anything.
Just
don't pretend like our suggestions are ridiculous.
Yeah, it's unchangeable. The numbers are in the
Jerry,
system.
the Crooks thing is ridiculous. I did that as a gag yesterday going along with that. Well, and for you to put him as high as you did just to get him on there.
No, that's just I wouldn't lie to put him on there. If you think I lied just to put him on there.
No, I think you really believe that.
I do.
I'm just pissed that it backfired on me. Had a little gag going, thought it'd be funny, go all in with you first time. Really get you all gassed up.
See, what's happening, Jace, is the rare bear lie about a lie. He's lying that he was lying yesterday about Jordan. He was dead serious.
Oh, he was.
Until he argued himself out of it.
And then he got all in his
he loves
about
Jordan Crooks.
This is 3D underwater chess lying right now.
All right.
Stay with us. The drive continues. The shocking conclusion coming up. And we'll hear from Tony Vitello heading into this weekend's big super regional matchup with Arkansas. More Fan Run Radio coming up.
The Drive. 105.7 FM, 1340 AM. Online at fanrunradio.com and streaming on the free Fan Run Radio app. This is Fan Run Radio. Knoxville.
Hall of Fame Wine and Spirits is Knoxville's new one-stop shop for legendary deals on all your favorite adult beverages. Conveniently located on Hall of Fame Drive, less than a mile from the Smokies' new downtown ballpark, Hall of Fame Wine and Spirits has everything you need for your next gathering with friends or a relaxing weekend at home. So stop by and show some love to this new local business and tell them Fan Run Radio sent you. Hall of Fame Wine and Spirits, 742 Hall of Fame Drive, online at hofknox.com.
Are you looking for a treat that will knock it out of the park at the next watch party? Just like your favorite baseball team, Crumble brings the best lineup week to week with an expanded roster that includes key lime pie, strawberry cake, or my personal favorite, Monster featuring M&M candies. Let Crumble treat you to the best cookies in the game. Download the Crumble app and start earning rewards. You can even vote monthly on what flavors you would like to see at any store of your choice. Warmer weather is here, so get to the ballpark, but don't miss the cookies.
Hey, Pack Rat. Yeah, you. Are you moving cross-country and you just don't know who to call? Call us right now. Listen, you've probably seen one of our containers in your neighborhood. But did you know that we can help you move anywhere in the United States? It's real simple. We'll drop a container off at the location you tell us to bring it to. You pack up your valuable possessions at your leisure. They stay safe right in your home. And when you're ready, call us. We'll come and pick up the container and give you a scheduled date of when your furniture and the other possessions will be at your new home. So if you're moving across country or across town, be a Pack Rat. Join the Pack Rat family. Call Pack Rat right now for your free quote. See y'all later, Pack Rats.
Call 800-965-1298. 800-965-1298. 800-965-1298. That's 800-965-1298.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Do you love to gamble? Do you enjoy listening to people talk about gambling? Well, then I have some good news for you. Every weeknight at 6 p.m., you can hear John Reed and William Pattison go over the slate, thanks to our friends at VIP Play. Sports topics aren't always black and white, but on the slate, they are always green. Nothing but trends, angles, and bets to try to make you some money. The Slate, presented by VIP Sports on Fan Run Radio, weeknights from 6 to 7 p.m.
Good afternoon. There's several accidents still in their clearing stages, just busy on the interstate. Out here, 40 east and west, over the top of West Hills, it remains stop and go. Kingston Pike in the Bearden area. Broadway traffic's busy through Fountain City, over the ridge, on into Halls. Amco Transmissions, serving East Tennessee since 1962. Call Amco Transmissions if you need their help at 832-8686. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
All right, coming up, the top 5 volunteers of the past 25 years is voted on by The Drive. We have the polls in the field to break ties between Zakai Ziegler and Trey Smith and Hendon Hooker and Christian Coleman. We're going to let that sit for a minute and see if we can't get over 100 votes in both polls, which would give us a pretty good idea of where that's going to end up.
Yeah.
Let's hear, while we wait, from Tony Vitello, headed to Arkansas for a big weekend series, the Super Regional. Obviously, Tony, his ties to Arkansas, Dave Van Horn, well documented. And here he is just talking about the similarities and differences between those two programs.
I learned a lot from Coach Van Horn. So there's certainly, when you bring Frank on board, he brings his deal, and Q is definitely, I feel, a unique X factor for us. But there's some things that I learned there that I would have never known or never would have experienced without his first believing in me and then help. So there's some similarities or a bridge there a little bit. And then we didn't know that it would become this here, and with our fan base is what I'm getting at. And I was a little concerned on whether we could sustain success here, because in our league, you have to have a true home field advantage. And they've had it for decades. And, and really, I guess, after COVID, even kind of during, in 21 especially, we had the comforting feeling that this is one of the rowdiest places to play as well. So there's two similarities, and maybe there's more. I played with Matt Hobbs, our pitching coach. He does a job, but again, it's different style. But this time of year, you certainly want to have confidence in the way your pitchers are coached and also the available arms you have. But it's also different. I remember getting here, and collectively as a staff, we had success recruiting at Arkansas, and the stadium helped and all that. But people here are like, yeah, just do what you did at Arkansas. They're winning some games, and it's a total different place. Same league, state university, flagship school, and all that. But Knoxville's different, and baseball in our state's different, and the way we want to do some things here is a little bit different. So, again, the bottom line is all that stuff's extra. They say SEC, it just means more. And a lot of the things that fall under that true cliche I think, at both places, and that's why the last series was fun. And like I said, they bested us, so we've got work to do.
Tony Vitello, a little chip on his shoulder, headed down to his old stomping grounds.
I'm getting a bit tingly, Russ.
You ready for it?
Yeah, I am. Going back to what Logan was talking about earlier, I agree with Logan. I'm glad we didn't have a game tonight.
Well, come on out and watch the game with us tomorrow. We'll be at Barley's Pizzeria and Tap Room in the Old City from 5 o'clock first pitch till whenever it's over, and we'll be getting out of there early because voluntary reaction as soon as the game is over. Right here on Fan Run Radio. Join myself, Bear, Davey Hudson, and Logan Quinton is going to be joining us talking all things Tennessee baseball as soon as it's over. So be sure to tune in for that. All right. We got a call here we're going to get to in just a second, but first, it looks like we're settling in here. We got over 50 votes on both these polls right now. Hendon Hooker is running away with it, 87-13.
I figured that would happen.
And Zakai
really
is 68-32 right now on Trey Smith.
That's wild to me.
I can't call that one just yet.
We won't call it yet.
I think we can call Hendo.
Yeah, that one's gonna. So Hendon will be at 12 and Christian Coleman will be at 13.
And Zakai is looking really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll hold that one. Can't
big,
call that
a big
yet.
dump from Monroe County just came in. We're at 79 votes now. 73.4% say Zakai Ziegler. 26.6% say Trey Smith.
We can finalize that after we get through the whole list.
All right.
Big batch of votes.
The top five. What do we got?
At number 5 with 73 points, Jason Witten.
I had him at number 3, and going by your original criteria, I'm not saying he should be, but I could make an argument that he should be number 1.
You've had a lot of different people number 1.
Yeah, I know. I spent a lot. I told you I spent 3 hours on it when I started looking up all his accolades, including, one of the biggest things. I didn't realize this. He's a Walter Payton Man of the Year.
Yeah, man. It's huge.
Huge. I had him at 9.
Prestigious. I had him at 3.
I had him right at 5.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you have him?
I had him. Let me go find it real quick. I think I had him a little lower, which I kind of regret looking back on it. I had him at 15.
Wow.
Yeah, I regret that a little bit. That was a rash decision by me. I'd probably have him a little higher.
Yeah. All right, number 4.
Number 4 at 83 points, Simo, highest ranked baseball player on the list.
Really? I thought he'd be second or
I
third.
had him at 3.
But between 3 and 4 is it's a 2-point gap.
I had him at 3. Where did
Bear? What?
What have you done?
Bear had Simo really low.
Where'd I have him?
You had Simo
at 10.
Let me find it. You had 12.
Yeah.
You had Gerard Mayo, Luke Hoshaver,
above
Kara Lawson. No
above
offense.
Because
Simo. You had Chris Burke over Simo. Chris Burke. They play the same sport. They play the same position.
Anyway,
what do you have to say for yourself?
I had him at number 1 for an hour. And
how'd he get down to 12?
I don't know. You guys wouldn't answer any of my texts. I told y'all I was struggling.
It just sounded like you were just
communicado last night.
Don't put this on us.
I needed some support from my
responsibility.
You gotta look. Each person's ballot was
He's
their
top
own.
5.
Well, yeah, he is clearly, but he would be like second or third if you had him 12.
He was 3 for everyone else.
If he's top 5, why did you have him 12? We all had him 3rd.
I don't know.
Do you regret this decision?
Yeah. A lot of it had to do with
the poll.
Like, I kept changing, and then I'd have to go back and move everything down.
Because I think, I'm not going to – I know how this is going to end up now.
Yeah.
Okay. 3rd is –
So – by only 2 points more at 85 is Tamika Catchings. Yeah. Yep, and then a huge gap between the top 2 with 97 points, Eric Berry, and with 99 points, the number 1 Vol of the last quarter century is Candace Parker.
You guys, I don't know.
You guys, us guys.
What?
Us.
I can't believe
you're the minority.
Mr. Simo had number 12
over Stuntman 21.
Candace Parker.
I mean, you can tell us all about
E.B. Eric Berry.
All right, make the case for Berry over Parker.
I mean, if it wasn't for the lung tumor, he would have probably lasted long enough to play with Mahomes and get him a couple of rings. He's the best. He's the best athlete that's ever been recruited to play here in football.
Whoa, that's old.
Eric Berry,
best athlete,
better than Doug Atkins, Reggie White, Peyton Manning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dale Carter. I mean, there are a lot of people who say like Dale Carter is just as athletically gifted as Eric Berry.
Hey, each person's ballot was their own.
It's close, but I think
it was a 2-point gap.
Again, if you want to look at accomplishments, like
Candace
is hard to beat.
It's tough.
Number one player out of high school, number one player in college, number one player in pros. Like
which leads me to this: the fact that piece of crap up there in Connecticut kept our gal off the damn Olympic team like he did, and to pretend like Diana Taurasi and the rest of those.
All right, congratulations to Candace, the number one volunteer.
Yep.
And I think that, like, if you polled the fans, I think that's how it would.
I think so.
Shake out. Give me the top 10 again from 1 to 10 real quick.
So Candace Parker, 1, 2 Eric Berry, 3 Tamika, 4 Simo, 5 Jason Witten, 6 Grant Williams, the highest basketball player on the list, 7 Chris Lofton, 8 Justin Gatlin, 9 Monica Abbott, and 10 Kara Lawson. So 3 Lady Vols in the top 10.
Yeah, man. I think our list is pretty damn strong. I think Tamika being over Simo, it's not an outrage, but it's like.
Yeah, but I'll say the same thing to you. Like I had during one of my moments where I had Simo really high, and then I pulled up Tamika Catchings and looked at her. Like you pull up her Wikipedia and it lists out like all her honors and everything she's done. It's like Jesus
and
Christ.
So you moved Simo from 1 to 12th.
No, that was later when I changed my calculus and how I was weighting stuff. And then there was a Witten thing. Witten was where I had Simo. Witten, the Walter Payton Award really scored points with me because I thought it was cool that you were adding the off the field component to it.
All right, let's get out of here. But before we do, a call from Roberto. Good afternoon, Roberto.
Hey, guys. I would have an honorable mention. I was trying to think of him yesterday, and I didn't, so it doesn't matter now. Your list is made, and it's a good list, by the way, and I'm fine with it. John Patrick Smith, he was a tennis player at UT. The only first-team All-American in doubles and singles in the history of college. I think there may have been one other guy that ranked number one in the U.S. in both. He was number one in the U.S. in both, and he was an 8-time first-team All-American, was SEC Male Athlete of the Year, 2-time SEC champion, and led the team to the national title. I couldn't remember his name. I just remember he was awesome. And, man, if you want to look at some accolades that are going to make you blush, you should look at that guy's rap sheet. It's incredible.
I'm looking at it right now. Pretty strong. Pretty strong run.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, if you put it up against anybody that you've got out there, it's going to hold weight in his perspective sport. SEC Male Athlete of the Year is a hell of an accomplishment, and I'll just leave it at that.
That's wild.
Hey, hold right there, Roberto. We have breaking news at the end of the show. To the desk we go. Tennessee is named a starter for Game 1 tomorrow against Arkansas.
Do tell.
Marcus Phillips.
Let's go!
Gets the ball for Game 1.
Good thing, Bear. Good thing.
Give Liam another day's rest. He pitched twice. Pitched last on Monday.
Lawless gets to catch him. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does.
Lawless gets to catch him.
You'll have Liam going in what could be a either.
Is there any way we see Liam
or go home?
Is there any way you guys see Liam Doyle pitching Game 2 and 3?
No.
Maybe in relief.
No, come on.
Dude, we got the damn World Series.
I don't know. I mean, he might go deck Tony and take the ball from him.
Do you want to go?
If Liam has 100 pitch, there's no way they could. If he's successful and we win, no, I just don't.
Okay.
There's a lot of factors that go into that. But.
I could see it.
Yeah.
He's insane.
We need bases are loaded, bottom of the ninth. The series is tied 1-1. We got a 2-1 lead. They got the sacks packed. We need an out. And Nate Snead is there. I'm calling on Liam. Liam, can you give me about 10, 15 pitches, buddy?
Need it.
Roberto, sorry, man. We are out of time. We got to run. Thank you, Jace. Thank you, Barrett. Thank you, Walker. Have a great weekend. The slate headed your way next.